Have you ever felt a quiet whisper in the depths of your soul, a subtle, yet persistent call pulling you toward something greater than yourself? A yearning, perhaps, to fulfill a higher purpose? Throughout history, this internal stirring has captivated the hearts of spiritual seekers, mystics, and prophets alike. They ponder, what does it mean to be one of God's chosen ones? How does the divine select those who are called upon for a sacred mission? Is it an immutable destiny, or is it a path we consciously choose as we journey through life? In today's exploration, we will unveil 7 profound secrets about how God chooses His chosen ones. These divine mysteries are not just abstract concepts, but sacred truths that, when understood, can transform your spiritual journey and deepen your connection with the divine. As we embark on this exploration, let us reflect on the powerful words of the mystic Meister Eckhart, who said, "The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one eye, one seeing, one knowing, one love." This statement points us toward the mysterious union between the divine and the chosen. It reveals that to be chosen by God is not about external merit or arbitrary selection, but about an intimate, transcendent connection. This connection is far deeper than the mind can comprehend, a sacred alignment of love, will, and purpose. So, are you ready to discover how God's chosen ones are selected? Let us dive deep into these divine secrets and unlock the mysteries that have been hidden for centuries. Before we unravel the 7 divine secrets, we must first understand the nature of being chosen. Many people wrongly assume that being chosen by God is a form of favoritism, where certain individuals are singled out above others due to superior qualities or deeds. However, this assumption could not be further from the truth. God's selection is not based on merit in the traditional sense. It is not about who is better, more righteous, or more deserving. Instead, it is about alignment. To be chosen by God is to be in a state of receptivity, where your soul resonates with the divine's will and purpose. This alignment is not something that can be manufactured or forced. It is a natural spiritual connection that arises from deep within. It's like 2 strings on a harp, vibrating in harmony, producing a resonance that can only be described as divine. When this resonance occurs, the individual becomes a vessel for divine grace, wisdom, and love. They are chosen not because they are superior, but because they are uniquely equipped to fulfill a specific sacred mission. This divine selection is less about who you are on the outside and more about the internal alignment of your heart with God's will. The first divine secret is that being chosen by God begins with a call to the heart. This call is not a loud proclamation from the heavens, nor is it an external command. Instead, it is a quiet, almost imperceptible stirring in the depths of your soul. It is an inner invitation that draws you toward a higher purpose, often when you least expect it. This divine call may come during a time of deep contemplation, in the quiet moments of solitude, or even in the midst of great joy or sorrow. It can appear as a sense of longing, an unquenchable thirst to know more about the mysteries of life and the universe. For others, it may manifest as an unsettling feeling that their current path is not aligned with their true purpose. There may be a gnawing realization that there is something greater awaiting them, a spiritual quest that cannot be ignored. What sets this call apart is that it speaks directly to the heart, bypassing the ego and intellect. It is not driven by external rewards like fame, success, or recognition. Rather, it comes from an inner knowing that something sacred awaits, and that the individual is meant to play a role in fulfilling it. Those who are truly chosen cannot easily dismiss this call. It echoes within their hearts, growing stronger with each passing day. Eventually, they feel compelled to answer it, stepping onto a path that leads them deeper into the mysteries of the divine. But here lies an important distinction. Not everyone who hears the call responds to it. Many feel the subtle stirrings of this divine invitation, but choose to ignore it due to fear, doubt, or the distractions of daily life. However, those who are truly chosen, those whose souls are in alignment with the divine, cannot turn away. The call becomes too powerful, too insistent to deny. It is here that the journey of the chosen begins. Once the call to the heart is answered, the second divine secret reveals itself, the purification process. This process is often misunderstood, as it is not merely about moral cleansing or outward righteousness. Instead, it is a deep spiritual refinement that prepares the chosen ones for their divine mission. When someone is chosen by God, they are called to reflect the divine light in its purest form. But before this light can shine through them, the clouds of ego, fear, and attachment must be cleared away. These clouds, accumulated over years of conditioning and past experiences, obscure the true brilliance of the soul. The purification process is designed to remove these obstructions, allowing the chosen ones to serve as clear, unobstructed vessels for divine wisdom and love. This process can be intense and challenging. It often requires facing the shadows within, the unresolved traumas, the deep-seated fears, and the limiting beliefs that have shaped their identity. These hidden aspects of the self are like anchors, holding the chosen ones back from their full potential. But through purification, these anchors are brought to the surface, allowing them to be healed, released, and transformed. This phase of the journey can be uncomfortable, even painful at times. It is not uncommon for the chosen ones to experience periods of deep introspection, where they must confront the parts of themselves that they have long avoided. Yet it is through this confrontation that true healing takes place. Purification is not a punishment. It is a sacred process of shedding the old, so the soul can radiate with the full brilliance of its divine purpose. As the purification process unfolds, the third divine secret begins to emerge: the awakening of spiritual gifts. These gifts are not random talents or abilities, but are spiritual faculties bestowed upon the chosen ones to help them fulfill their divine mission. While every soul has inherent spiritual potential, the chosen ones often possess heightened or specialized gifts that align with their purpose. Spiritual gifts can take many forms. Some chosen ones may discover they have the gift of healing, the ability to channel divine energy to bring about physical, emotional, or spiritual restoration in others. Others may possess the gift of prophecy, receiving visions or insights about future events that guide individuals or communities with divine wisdom. Still others may have the gift of discernment, allowing them to perceive the true nature of situations or people, seeing beyond the surface to the spiritual realities at play. The awakening of these gifts is closely tied to the purification process. As the chosen ones release the layers of ego and attachment, their spiritual faculties begin to emerge with greater clarity and power. These gifts are not new. They are latent abilities that have always existed within the soul, waiting for the right conditions to be activated. The purification process creates these conditions, allowing the gifts to rise to the surface and be used in service to the divine mission. For many, this awakening can be both exhilarating and disorienting. The chosen ones may suddenly find themselves aware of energies, thoughts, or emotions that they were previously oblivious to. They may receive intuitive insights or messages that challenge their previous understanding of reality. This expansion of awareness requires adjustment, as the chosen ones learn to manage their newfound abilities and integrate them into their daily lives. It's essential to understand that these spiritual gifts are not for personal gain or recognition. They are divine tools, given to serve a higher purpose. The chosen ones must learn to use them wisely, with humility and compassion, always in alignment with the divine will. In doing so, they fulfill their sacred mission and contribute to the upliftment of humanity. The fourth divine secret introduces us to one of the most profound mysteries in the spiritual journey: the delicate interplay between destiny and free will. Many people struggle to reconcile these two seemingly contradictory forces: destiny, which implies a predetermined path, and free will, which suggests personal choice. Yet for the chosen ones, these forces are not in opposition. Rather, they dance together in a harmonious relationship that guides them toward their divine mission. Destiny, in the spiritual sense, refers to the soul's overarching plan, its blueprint for evolution. This plan outlines the key experiences, challenges, and opportunities that the soul will encounter during its earthly journey. For the chosen ones, this destiny often involves significant roles in guiding, healing, or uplifting others. Their lives are woven into the greater tapestry of the divine plan, which seeks to bring humanity into greater alignment with love, truth, and harmony. However, destiny is not a rigid script. It is more like a map, offering a general outline of the path while allowing for personal expression and choice along the way. This is where free will comes into play. The chosen ones have the freedom to make decisions that can either bring them closer to fulfilling their divine mission or lead them away from it. Every choice they make is a brushstroke on the canvas of their destiny, contributing to the overall picture of their spiritual journey. One of the greatest challenges for the chosen ones is to discern between the guidance of destiny and the distractions of the ego. The ego often seeks comfort, security, and validation, desires that can pull the chosen ones away from their true purpose. In contrast, the call of destiny often requires sacrifice, courage, and faith, qualities that the ego may resist. The chosen ones must learn to distinguish between these two voices, choosing the path that aligns with their higher purpose, even when it is difficult or uncertain. In doing so, they bring their destiny to life, not as passive recipients of fate, but as active co-creators with the divine. The fifth divine secret reveals one of the most vital tools for the chosen ones: the power of intuition and inner guidance. Intuition is often described as the voice of the soul, a direct line of communication between the individual and the divine. For the chosen ones, intuition is not just a helpful tool, it is an essential aspect of their journey. It allows them to access wisdom that transcends the limitations of the rational mind and guides them toward their divine purpose. Intuition manifests in various ways, through gut feelings, flashes of insight, dreams, or even synchronicities that seem too meaningful to be mere coincidence. The chosen ones often find that as they progress on their spiritual path, their intuition becomes stronger and more reliable. This is because they are constantly attuning themselves to the frequency of the divine, clearing away the noise of the ego and becoming more receptive to subtle energies. One of the most important lessons for the chosen ones is learning to trust their intuition. In a world that often values logic, reason, and external validation, relying on something as intangible as inner guidance can be challenging. However, intuition is a gift from the divine, a form of communication that goes beyond the physical world. The chosen ones must learn to honor this gift, to listen to their inner voice, and to act on its guidance, even when it goes against conventional wisdom or logic. The sixth divine secret centers on the transformative power of service and selflessness. While spiritual gifts and inner guidance are essential for the chosen ones, their ultimate purpose is not fulfilled in isolation. The true mission of the chosen ones lies in how they use their gifts to serve others. Service, in the context of the chosen ones, is not merely about performing good deeds or charitable acts. It is about living in a state of constant awareness of their role as instruments of the divine. It is about putting aside personal ambitions, desires, and even needs in order to fulfill a greater purpose. This does not mean neglecting oneself, but rather understanding that true fulfillment comes from contributing to the well-being of others. The chosen ones recognize that their spiritual gifts are not for their own glorification, but for the upliftment of humanity and the world. This selflessness is not merely an external act, it is a state of being. The chosen ones live with the awareness that every action, no matter how small, has the potential to make a significant impact on the collective consciousness. The final divine secret is perhaps the most mysterious of all, the mystery of divine timing. While the chosen ones may feel a sense of urgency to fulfill their mission, they must also learn to trust in the timing of the divine. This timing is not always in sync with human expectations, but it is always perfect in its alignment with the greater plan. Divine timing ensures that the chosen ones are prepared for the tasks they are called to undertake. There may be periods of waiting, during which they are being refined, tested, and prepared. These periods are essential, as they allow the chosen ones to develop the skills, wisdom, and resilience needed to fulfill their mission effectively. Trusting in divine timing requires patience and surrender. The chosen ones must release their attachment to specific outcomes and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. By aligning their free will with divine timing, they create a harmonious flow, where their actions are in perfect sync with the greater plan. As we conclude this journey through the 7 divine secrets, it becomes clear that being chosen by God is not a static state, but a dynamic, evolving path. It is a journey of deep transformation, where the soul continually grows, purifies, and aligns with the divine. Each of these secrets, beginning with the call to the heart, the purification process, the awakening of spiritual gifts, the balance of destiny and free will, the power of intuition, the importance of service, and the mystery of divine timing, forms the foundation of this sacred path. The chosen ones are not called to a life of ease, but to a life of purpose. They are tasked with embodying divine love, wisdom, and service in a world that deeply needs it. This path requires courage, humility, and a willingness to step into the unknown, guided by the hand of the divine. For those who feel the stirrings of this call within their own hearts, remember, you are not alone. The divine walks with you, guiding you, supporting you, and helping you fulfill your highest potential. Embrace your role as one of the chosen with love, faith, and trust, knowing that your journey, though challenging, is profoundly sacred and deeply transformative. If this exploration resonated with you, we invite you to engage further, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us continue to build a community of seekers, united in our quest for spiritual growth and alignment with the divine. Together, we can shine our light and make a lasting impact on the world. Stay blessed, and may your journey be filled with grace, wisdom, and divine love. From the moment of our first breath to the tentative steps of childhood, some of us carry an invisible mark, a subtle yet profound sign of being set apart. It's as if, from the beginning, the Creator had woven a unique thread into the fabric of our lives, scattering clues along the journey to reveal a divine purpose. These clues, often veiled in simplicity, point to a greater mission, a destiny beyond the ordinary. Have you ever felt different, as if you carried a secret even you couldn't fully grasp? This feeling, far from being a burden, may be the first indication that your life has been touched by the divine, preparing you for something extraordinary. While the signs may vary, there is a quiet rhythm to their presence, whispers of the divine that resonate within the depths of our being. Let's explore these signs, those gentle nudges from above that reveal you've been chosen from the very beginning. From an early age, many chosen individuals experience an acute sensitivity to the world around them. It's as if their senses are tuned to a different frequency, picking up subtleties others overlook. Perhaps you remember moments as a child when the world seemed to speak to you in ways you couldn't explain, when a simple sunset stirred something profound in your heart, or when you felt deeply connected to the unseen forces that guide all creation. This heightened awareness often manifests as an extraordinary empathy. You might have felt the emotions of others as if they were your own, even before you fully understood what those feelings meant. These moments of deep connection are not random. They are evidence of a soul attuned to the divine, a heart designed to feel deeply in order to serve profoundly. For some, this awareness emerges through vivid dreams or moments of startling intuition. Perhaps you had dreams that felt more real than reality itself, visions that hinted at the future or provided comfort in moments of fear. These glimpses of the unknown are like threads in a tapestry, drawing you closer to your purpose. Another hallmark of being chosen is an inexplicable yearning to serve, a deep-seated desire to uplift, protect, and comfort others, even from a young age. This innate sense of responsibility often transcends typical childhood behavior, revealing itself in subtle but significant ways. It's as if a quiet voice within compels you to act with kindness and compassion, not out of obligation, but from a place of genuine connection and purpose. These early stirrings of service are not random. They are profound indicators of a divine calling beginning to surface in your life. Perhaps you can recall moments when, without being prompted, you felt an irresistible need to step in and help someone in need. On the playground, you may have been the child who mediated disputes, instinctively understanding the importance of harmony. While others might have shied away, you stood up for the underdog, offering a kind word or defending someone being treated unfairly. These small but significant actions were not just acts of kindness. They were whispers of something greater, a heart aligned with a higher mission. For some, this yearning to serve manifested in a deep connection to nature or animals. Maybe you found joy in nurturing a wounded bird, caring for a stray, or simply marveling at the beauty of creation. You felt an unexplainable sense of responsibility for all living things, as though their well-being was somehow tied to your own. This sensitivity wasn't a weakness. It was a reflection of a soul called to protect and preserve, a glimpse of your capacity to bring healing to a broken world. This call to serve also often extends to emotional and spiritual care. Even as a child, you may have found yourself comforting those in pain, offering words that seem to carry wisdom far beyond your years. You might have been the one people turned to, sensing your quiet strength and ability to listen without judgment. While others might have seen such moments as fleeting, they were profound milestones on your journey, shaping you into someone capable of great compassion and selflessness. These instincts, while seemingly ordinary, carry deep spiritual significance. They are the Creator's way of preparing you for the path ahead, planting seeds of purpose that would grow and flourish with time. This yearning to serve is not a burden. It is a gift, a reflection of the divine love that flows through you, meant to touch the lives of others. As you look back on these moments, consider how they shaped your character and illuminated your path. These early signs are reminders that your life has always been guided by an invisible hand, preparing you for a mission far greater than yourself. Embrace this calling, for it is through service that the light within you shines brightest. Do you remember those moments as a child when talking to God felt as natural as speaking to a dear friend? Perhaps you whispered your hopes, fears, or dreams into the stillness, feeling as though He was right there beside you, listening intently. For some, this relationship was built in quiet moments, like lying under the stars or sitting alone in a room, where the invisible presence of the divine felt almost tangible. These experiences were more than childhood imaginings. They were manifestations of divine love, a quiet reassurance that you were never alone. Perhaps you also experienced unexplainable peace during times of chaos or fear, as if an unseen hand had wrapped you in a protective embrace. Whether during a storm, a family conflict, or moments of loneliness, this peace wasn't just a fleeting feeling, but a profound spiritual connection. It was a reminder of the Creator's ever-present care and the deep bond you shared with Him, even before you fully understood it. Chosen individuals often exhibit a unique spiritual sensitivity from an early age, a deep awareness of the sacred woven into the fabric of everyday life. This sensitivity may have emerged in prayer, where you felt a sense of comfort and closeness that defied words, or in a fascination with sacred stories and teachings. Perhaps you were drawn to tales of faith, courage, and divine intervention, feeling a personal connection to the lessons they carried. For others, this connection to the Creator revealed itself in a natural inclination toward reflection or awe in the presence of creation. Do you recall standing in a forest, on a beach, or even in your backyard and feeling as if the trees, the wind, and the stars were alive with God's presence? This sense of wonder, This overwhelming awareness of something greater was not accidental. It was a divine breadcrumb, a subtle yet powerful signpost leading you toward your purpose. These moments of spiritual sensitivity, though they may have seemed ordinary at the time, were profound indicators of your unique connection with the Creator. They were gifts, reminders that you were set apart for a greater mission. Even as a child, you may have sensed an invisible thread linking your heart to God's, pulling you towards something extraordinary. As you reflect on these experiences, you may realize they were not coincidences. They were deliberate touches of divine grace, carefully placed to guide you. These moments, no matter how fleeting, were whispers of your calling, encouraging you to trust in the plan the Creator has for your life. In recognizing these signs, you begin to understand the depth of your spiritual journey. They are a reminder that the path you walk has always been illuminated by God's light, a light that grows brighter as you embrace your purpose. Being chosen is not a promise of an easy life. On the contrary, it often means walking a path marked by unique challenges, trials that appear early in life and shape the person you are destined to become. Those called to a divine mission frequently encounter feelings of being misunderstood, isolated, or out of place. As a child, you may have sensed that you didn't quite fit in, that your thoughts and desires set you apart from your peers, or even your own family. This loneliness, while painful, was not without purpose. It was a part of the Creator's design, preparing you for the weight of a mission that requires both strength and compassion. You may recall moments when you had to draw on reserves of strength you didn't even know you possessed. Perhaps it was during a time of loss, rejection, or struggle, when every instinct told you to give up, yet something deep within compelled you to press on. These trials were not punishments, they were preparations. Like gold refined in fire, these experiences were meant to purify and strengthen your character, revealing the resilience, courage, and empathy required to fulfill your divine purpose. Loneliness often serves as a crucible for those chosen by God. It creates space for reflection, connection with the divine, and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world. The sense of not belonging teaches you to look beyond the surface, to seek meaning and connection in places others may overlook. It fosters a profound empathy for others who struggle, making you a beacon of hope for those in need. Such challenges also develop resilience, the ability to stand firm in faith and purpose, even when life feels overwhelming. With every obstacle overcome, you grow stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the divine guidance that sustains you. Each victory, no matter how small, is a testament to the Creator's hand at work in your life, shaping you into someone capable of carrying out a mission that transcends your own limitations. Have you ever paused to consider the pattern of these trials in your life? Perhaps they seemed random at the time, yet looking back, you can see how each hardship prepared you for the next, building layer upon layer of strength and understanding. These experiences, though painful, are like tools placed in your hands, tools you'll use to lift others, to heal, to lead, or to inspire. While being chosen comes with unique struggles, it also comes with an abundance of grace. The Creator walks beside you through every trial, providing the strength you need at just the right moment. In those times when you felt like giving up but found the courage to carry on, it wasn't by your own power. It was divine intervention, a reminder that you are never alone. Remember, the challenges you face are not random. They are part of a greater plan, equipping you for the extraordinary purpose you were chosen to fulfill. Embrace them, for they are not barriers but stepping stones, leading you closer to the person you were always meant to be. Many chosen ones can recall moments during their childhood when they felt inexplicably protected, as though an unseen force intervened at just the right moment to shield them from harm. Perhaps you narrowly avoided a dangerous situation, a sudden shift that defied explanation, or felt a calming presence when fear threatened to overwhelm you. These moments are not mere coincidences. They are tangible signs of God's hand at work in your life, evidence of a greater plan unfolding even when you were unaware. Looking back, patterns often emerge where coincidence gives way to divine intention. You may recall the appearance of a kind teacher or mentor during a difficult time, someone whose guidance and care shaped your path in profound ways. Perhaps a book or message landed in your hands unexpectedly, offering clarity or inspiration that resonated deeply within you. Maybe it was a seemingly chance encounter, a conversation with a stranger, or an opportunity that came out of nowhere that changed the trajectory of your life. These events, though they may have seemed ordinary in the moment, were not accidents. They were carefully orchestrated by the Creator to steer you toward your destiny. These moments of divine protection and intervention often serve as turning points. They remind us that, even in our most vulnerable or uncertain times, we are not alone. The Creator's presence is constant, guiding and preserving us in ways we may not fully understand until later. For some, these experiences may be dramatic, being pulled back from danger at the last second or surviving a situation against all odds. For others, they may be quieter, yet no less powerful, like finding solace in unexpected places or feeling a profound sense of peace during a storm. As you reflect on your life, consider these moments not as random blessings but as intentional acts of grace. They are divine breadcrumbs, guiding you step by step toward the purpose you were created to fulfill. Each instance of protection or intervention is a reminder of your unique calling, a reassurance that your life is unfolding according to a divine plan. Take these memories to heart, for they are a testament to the Creator's unfailing love and the extraordinary path set before you. Even when the road ahead feels uncertain, trust that the same hand that protected and guided you in the past continues to do so, leading you closer to your destiny. As chosen individuals grow, they often experience a quiet but powerful resistance to conforming to societal norms. While the world seems intent on pushing everyone into predefined molds, dictating how we should think, act, and live, something deep within you resists this pull. This resistance isn't born of rebellion or defiance, but of a deeper truth, a divine purpose yearning to express itself through your unique path. You may have found yourself feeling different from those around you, as though you were walking a path that others couldn't quite understand. This sense of being out of step with the world may have left you questioning why you didn't fit in, why you saw things differently, or why your heart longed for something more. But this discomfort is not a flaw. It is a sign of your calling. You were not created to follow the crowd, but to lead, to carve a path that others might eventually follow, to be a light where darkness prevails. This inner resistance is a gift, a divine nudge reminding you that you were made for something greater. It challenges you to rise above the noise, to hold fast to your values, and to embrace the unique perspective you bring to the world. While it may feel isolating at times, this separation from the ordinary is what sets you apart for extraordinary purposes. Over time, as you embrace this calling, the discomfort of being different transforms into the courage to stand firm in your purpose. Your light, once hidden, begins to shine brightly, illuminating not only your path but also offering hope and inspiration to those searching for their own. This resistance is a reminder. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to shine. From time to time, chosen individuals experience moments of profound clarity or wisdom that seem to transcend their years. Even as children or young adults, they find themselves speaking or acting in ways that surprise not only those around them, but even themselves. Perhaps you recall a moment when you offered comfort to someone in deep pain, speaking words of encouragement or insight that felt as though they came from a place far beyond your understanding. These moments are not mere coincidences. They are glimpses of divine wisdom working through you, preparing you for the greater mission you are destined to fulfill. You may have encountered situations where others were overwhelmed or confused, yet you found solutions with ease. These moments often come unbidden, a sudden flash of insight, or an intuitive knowing that guides you to the right action. They are reminders of your connection to the Creator, evidence of a wisdom that flows through you, not as a result of study or effort, but as a gift aligned with your divine purpose. These experiences are not just isolated events. They are markers of the unique calling placed upon your life. Each instance of clarity, whether it involved offering advice, solving a problem, or simply being a source of calm in chaos, serves as preparation for the larger mission ahead. They build confidence in your ability to trust the divine guidance within you, encouraging you to lean into your purpose with faith and courage. As you reflect on these moments, recognize them for what they are: signs of the Creator's hand at work in your life. They are gentle affirmations that you are being equipped for something extraordinary, a mission that will require you to channel this divine wisdom for the benefit of others and for the fulfillment of a greater plan. Recognizing the signs of being chosen is an important first step, but it is only the beginning of the journey. The real challenge, and the greatest fulfillment, comes in embracing your calling and allowing it to shape every aspect of your life. This means letting your divine purpose influence your decisions, guide your relationships, and transform your perspective on the world. It requires courage to step into the unknown, humility to recognize that this path is not about personal glory, and an unwavering commitment to live in alignment with the higher purpose for which you were created. The modern world, with its endless distractions and competing values, can make this journey difficult. Social pressures, material pursuits, and the noise of daily life may try to drown out the quiet, persistent voice of the divine within you. It's easy to lose focus when the world seems to pull you in 100 directions at once, tempting you to conform, to compromise, or to abandon your calling altogether. But staying true to your purpose means resisting this noise and remaining anchored in faith. It involves creating space in your life for reflection, prayer, and a deep connection to the Creator. It means choosing integrity when it would be easier to follow the crowd, and holding on to hope when doubt threatens to take over. Embracing your calling doesn't mean life will be without challenges, but it does mean your life will have meaning. Each decision rooted in faith, each relationship built on love, and each step taken with purpose becomes part of a greater tapestry, one that reflects the divine plan for your life. By staying true to your path, you shine a light for others, showing that living a life guided by purpose is not only possible, but profoundly transformative. Being chosen is not about achieving perfection but embracing progress. It's a journey of growth, where each step you take toward your divine purpose is a victory worth celebrating. No matter how small the action, a quiet moment of compassion, a word of encouragement offered to someone in need, or a decision to choose love over fear. These acts are reflections of the divine light within you. They are markers of your alignment with the Creator's plan, shining evidence that you are walking the path intended for you. Your imperfections and struggles are not barriers to this journey. They are some of your greatest tools. They allow you to connect with others on a deeply human level, forging bonds through shared experiences of pain, doubt, or failure. These moments of vulnerability give you the unique ability to offer hope and guidance to those navigating their own challenges. Your scars are not signs of weakness, but testaments to the strength and resilience that divine grace has cultivated within you. As you continue on this journey, remain open to the divine signs and guidance that surround you. These signs may come in many forms: a gentle breeze that stirs your spirit, the comfort of silence in a chaotic moment, or an unexpected encounter that changes your perspective. Even life's twists and turns, the moments that seem random or unplanned, often carry the fingerprints of a greater design. By staying attentive to these whispers of grace, you allow the Creator to guide your steps. Each day becomes an opportunity to grow, to serve, and to shine your light more brightly. Trust that even in your imperfections, you are perfectly equipped for the unique purpose you were chosen to fulfill. Progress, not perfection, is the heartbeat of your journey. You are not alone in your journey. Across the globe, there exists a community of chosen ones, each walking their own unique path, yet united by a shared purpose. While your experiences and calling may be distinct, the challenges, triumphs, and spiritual truths that shape your journey are part of a larger tapestry. Together, we have the power to illuminate a world that often feels overshadowed by fear, doubt, and despair. Through our collective light, we can bring hope, healing, and transformation to the lives we touch. If these words resonate with your heart, consider taking the next step. Share your story, the moments of divine intervention, the struggles that shaped you, and the victories that strengthened your faith. There is immense power in storytelling, in offering your journey as a beacon for others. By sharing, you invite others to recognize the divine threads in their own lives, helping them feel less alone and more connected to a greater purpose. Equally important is the opportunity to connect with those who feel the same divine pull. When we come together, we create a space of encouragement, support, and shared wisdom. This unity strengthens our resolve, making us more resilient in the face of challenges and more effective in fulfilling our mission. Alone, we may feel small and limited, but united, we become a force for change, love, and purpose. Your story matters, and so does your connection to this global community of chosen ones. By stepping forward, you not only deepen your own journey but also inspire others to embrace theirs. Together, we can shine brighter, walk farther, and bring more light to the world. The path is never walked alone, and the strength of many can accomplish what one cannot. Being chosen is both a profound privilege and a meaningful responsibility. It is an invitation to live a life of intention, love, and service, guided by a higher purpose. As you walk this remarkable journey, remember this truth. You were not chosen because of perfection, but because of the unique gifts and experiences that make you perfectly suited to fulfill a purpose only you can accomplish. Embrace your calling wholeheartedly. Let your light shine brightly in a world that is yearning for hope, kindness, and truth. Every step you take, every act of love and service, creates a ripple effect that inspires and uplifts those around you. Trust in the divine within you. It is a powerful force capable of transforming not only your life but the lives of others. If this message has inspired you, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and join us on this journey of faith, purpose, and growth. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Together, we can support and encourage one another on this divine journey. May God's grace guide you and strengthen you in every step of your path. Remember, you are not alone. You are chosen, loved, and called to make a difference. Amen. Chosen ones, what I'm about to share may catch you off guard. But know this: it is no accident that you're encountering this message at this precise moment. God's hand has guided you here because something extraordinary is stirring in your life. A profound transformation is unfolding within you, a shift from merely wanting to having. Yes, you heard that right. Those heartfelt prayers, those deep-seated hopes, and those dreams that once seemed distant are no longer just aspirations floating in the future. They are now stepping into the realm of your reality. This is not just a shift in mindset. It is a deep, spiritual, and energetic realignment. As one of God's chosen, you are about to witness things in your life aligning with such grace and speed that you will be left in awe. However, stepping fully into the blessings that God has prepared for you requires understanding how this shift works. It's about aligning your heart and soul with the divine so you can embrace the fullness of your purpose and desires. If you are truly among the chosen, you will feel drawn to this message. Something deep within your spirit will resonate, confirming that this truth is meant for you. And those who stay until the end, those who hold this truth close, will see their lives change in ways they once only dreamed of. Chosen ones, let's begin this journey by exploring the profound essence of desire. Desire is not just a fleeting wish or a casual thought. It is a sacred awareness of the gap between where you are and where you feel divinely destined to be. This gap is not merely a mental or emotional experience. It is a spiritual realization. Desire is, at its core, a signal from God. It reflects a divine understanding that you were created for more purpose, more growth, and more fulfillment. It is an internal call to step into the extraordinary, to embrace the next chapter of your story. Yet with this call often comes a stirring in the heart, a longing, an ache that something essential is just out of reach. You may be praying for a deeper love, financial provision, career success, or inner peace. Whatever your desire, it represents the sacred tension between your current reality and the divine destiny that awaits you. Desire, if misunderstood, can sometimes overwhelm us. It can fill us with frustration, impatience, or even doubt. But here's the truth. Desire is not a burden or a weakness. It is a divine spark, igniting the fires of creation within you. The Bible illustrates this beautifully in the story of Hannah in 1 Samuel. She longed for a child with such intensity that her prayers moved her to the temple, where she poured out her heart to God. Her desire was not a flaw. It was the very force that drew her into a covenant with God. Through her faith, she was blessed with Samuel, who became a prophet. Could your desires be more than mere yearnings? Could they be sacred signals guiding you into deeper alignment with God's divine plan for your life? Consider this. Every frustration, every hope, and every dream planted in your heart may carry a purpose far greater than you currently understand. These feelings may not be random. They could be part of God's intricate design, drawing you closer to the life He has prepared for you. Frustration, while uncomfortable, often serves as a catalyst for growth. It can push you to seek solutions, take bold steps, and lean on God for wisdom and direction. Hope, on the other hand, is a powerful force that keeps your heart anchored, reminding you that the story isn't over and that God is still working behind the scenes. Dreams, those vivid visions of what could be, might be God whispering to your spirit, awakening within you a hunger for the extraordinary life He's designed. Without desire, transformation would remain stagnant. Desire is the spark that ignites change, the holy discontent that calls you out of complacency and into action. It is through your longings that God stirs your soul, reminding you that you were made for more, for greater purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Think of Moses, whose desire to free his people burned so deeply that he left his comfort behind to answer God's call. Or consider Nehemiah, whose frustration over Jerusalem's broken walls propelled him into leadership and restoration. In each case, God used their desires to awaken something profound within them, guiding them to fulfill His plan. So ask yourself, what might God be using your own desires to awaken within you? How might He be using them to refine your character, deepen your faith, and guide you closer to Him? Now let's explore the powerful transformation that occurs when you shift from wanting to having. When you remain in a state of wanting, you inadvertently affirm lack. Each time you say, "I want this," or "I need that," you send a signal that what you desire is beyond your reach. This creates a cycle of longing, where fulfillment feels perpetually out of grasp. The Bible offers us guidance here. In Matthew 6:8, we are reminded, "Your Father knows what you need before you ask Him." When you focus on lack, you overlook the profound truth that God already knows your desires and has a plan for them. But what if, instead of yearning, you believe that your prayers were already answered? Jesus tells us in Mark 11:24, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." This verse is not merely about asking. It's about embodying a faith so deep and certain that you live as if your desires are already unfolding before you. Faith like this doesn't wait for evidence. It doesn't require visible proof or immediate results. Instead, it stands firm in the conviction that God's promises are true and His timing is perfect. This shift in perspective is transformative. When you move from longing to receiving, you no longer dwell in a mindset of lack or incompleteness. Instead, you embrace the energy of abundance and fulfillment, aligning yourself with God's will and timing. This transformation is not passive. It's a dynamic, active step into your divine role as a co-creator with God. When you truly believe that your prayers are being answered, your actions, thoughts, and emotions begin to align with that belief. You prepare for the blessings, creating space in your heart and life to receive them. When you make this shift, you transform from yearning to believing, unlocks the divine flow of blessings and positions you to receive them fully and joyfully. One of the greatest challenges in life is learning to trust in divine timing. In a fast-paced world that celebrates instant gratification, waiting often feels like a burden too heavy to bear. Delays can stir anxiety, doubts can creep in, and the desire to control outcomes can grow overwhelming. Yet Scripture provides a profound reminder in Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. These words invite us to step back and see life from a higher perspective, God's perspective. God's timing is not bound by human expectations or schedules. While we may view waiting as wasted time, He sees it as preparation. Like a master craftsman, God weaves the events of our lives with intricate care, ensuring every moment aligns with His perfect plan. But trusting in that timing requires a shift in mindset, from striving for control to surrendering in faith. When you trust divine timing, you release the need to dictate when or how your hopes and dreams will come to pass. Instead of clinging to anxiety, you embrace peace. Instead of dwelling on doubt, you lean into trust. This surrender doesn't mean passivity. It means acknowledging that God's wisdom far exceeds our own. His delays are not denials, but are often the very moments He uses to shape us, strengthen us, and prepare us for what lies ahead. Consider the relief that comes when you believe every step, even the setbacks, serves a divine purpose. The closed doors, the unexpected detours, the prolonged seasons of waiting, they are all pieces of a larger puzzle that only God can see. Imagine the freedom of releasing your worries and resting in the assurance that He is never early, never late, but always perfectly on time. So what would happen if you fully embrace this trust? You would find a profound peace that surpasses understanding, a joy that no delay could steal, and a hope that anchors your soul even in uncertain seasons. Trusting divine timing doesn't mean you won't face moments of doubt, but it does mean those moments won't define you. As you wait, remember this: God is not slow in fulfilling His promises. He is purposeful, and in His perfect time, everything will fall into place, not just as you imagined, but infinitely better. Faith is one of the most powerful forces in the human experience, a bridge that spans the gap between where you are and where you long to be. It is more than wishful thinking or fleeting hope. Faith is an active, unshakable conviction that what you desire is not just possible, but already taking shape, even when you cannot yet see it. The Bible captures the essence of faith in Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. These words reveal that faith isn't abstract or intangible. It has substance, it carries weight and power. Faith allows you to embody the feeling of having, even when your physical reality hasn't yet aligned with your vision. When you move in faith, your inner dialogue shifts. Instead of saying, "I hope this happens," you begin to declare, "I believe it is already happening." Faith transforms "I want" into "I have." This shift in mindset is crucial because it aligns your thoughts and emotions with your desires. Your heart begins to rest in assurance, no longer striving out of desperation, but moving forward in trust and confidence. However, faith is not passive. It requires movement. The Apostle James reminds us in James 2:26 that faith without works is dead. True faith compels action, steps that reflect your belief in the unseen. If you truly believe your dreams are on their way, your actions will naturally align with that belief. It may mean preparing for opportunities before they arise, investing time or energy into your goals, or simply showing gratitude in advance for what is yet to come. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. While you cannot immediately see the seed grow, you water it daily, trusting that it will sprout and flourish. Your faith in its growth motivates your actions. You don't just wait passively, you nurture it. Faith in your own life works the same way. It inspires you to take steps, even small ones, that move you closer to your vision. But let's be honest, faith isn't always easy. There will be moments when doubt tries to creep in, whispering questions like, "What if it doesn't happen?" Or, what if I'm wrong? In those moments, lean on God's promises. Remember that His timing is perfect and that He rewards those who trust Him completely. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting in the one who does. So what would it look like to walk fully in faith today? Perhaps it's choosing gratitude instead of fear. Perhaps it's taking one bold step toward your goal, even if the path ahead feels unclear. Or perhaps it's simply holding on to the truth that you are not walking this journey alone. Faith is the bridge between your desires and your reality. Cross it with confidence, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of your dreams. With faith in your heart and actions to match, the impossible becomes possible, and what was once unseen becomes your reality. At the core of manifestation lies a profound truth. Energy shapes reality. Every thought you think and every emotion you feel emits a specific frequency, and that frequency acts as a magnet, drawing experiences into your life. Understanding and mastering this energetic principle can transform how you approach your desires, allowing you to co-create a life aligned with your highest aspirations. When your thoughts and emotions dwell in lack, focusing on what you don't have, what's missing, or what's wrong, you align yourself with the frequency of wanting. This energy perpetuates a cycle of scarcity, reinforcing the very reality you wish to change. The more you feel like you're waiting for abundance, the more you remain in a state of waiting. But when you shift your focus to abundance, what you already have and the blessings that surround you, you begin to vibrate at a higher frequency. This energetic state naturally attracts blessings, opportunities, and fulfillment. Gratitude plays a central role in this process. When you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you send a signal to the universe. I am abundant. I am fulfilled. This mindset doesn't just make you feel better in the moment. It rewires your energy, shifting your focus from lack to fulfillment and creating space for greater blessings to flow into your life. Take a moment to reflect on the power of gratitude. Consider how your energy changes when you focus on even the smallest joys, a kind word from a loved one, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the fact that you've made it through challenges you once thought insurmountable. These moments of acknowledgement elevate your vibration, aligning you with the energy of abundance. Visualization is another transformative practice in manifestation. When you visualize, you're not simply imagining a distant dream, you are energetically aligning with your desired reality as if it already exists. This goes beyond seeing it with your mind's eye. It involves feeling it with your whole being. Close your eyes and picture yourself living the life you desire. What does it look like? More importantly, what does it feel like? The emotions of joy, peace, and gratitude you generate during visualization send a clear signal to the universe, accelerating the arrival of that reality into your present. It's important to remember that energy is a two-way conversation. While your thoughts and feelings shape your reality, your external environment also influences your energy. Surround yourself with people, experiences, and practices that uplift and inspire you. Make room in your life, physically and emotionally, for the blessings you're manifesting. Manifestation is not magic. It's a partnership between your energy, actions, and the divine flow of the universe. The key is to approach it with faith and intentionality. Trust that as you align your energy with abundance, you are co-creating with God, who desires to see you thrive. So today, choose to elevate your energy. Focus on gratitude for what is, visualize what will be, and trust the divine timing that brings it all together. As you do, you'll find that manifestation is not about chasing blessings. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts them. Resistance often stands as the greatest barrier between us and the life we desire. Whether it comes in the form of doubt, fear, or impatience, resistance blocks the flow of blessings meant for us. It keeps us tethered to a mindset of control, an endless struggle to force outcomes, micromanage details, and hold tightly to how we think things should happen. Yet, the path to true abundance lies not in grasping but in letting go. Surrendering to God's process is not a sign of weakness or giving up. It is an act of profound faith. To surrender is to release the burden of control, trusting that God's plan is far greater than anything we could imagine for ourselves. It is an acknowledgement that while we may plant seeds and nurture them, it is God who causes them to grow. Proverbs 3:5-6 offers a powerful reminder. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. But surrendering is not easy. It requires us to confront the parts of ourselves that fear the unknown. It calls us to let go of the timeline we've created in our minds and the need to control every detail. This act of trust can feel vulnerable, even unsettling. However, it is in this vulnerability that we create space for miracles. Imagine holding a clenched fist, gripping tightly to something you fear losing. In doing so, your hand cannot receive anything new. Now picture opening that fist, releasing control and trusting that something greater is on its way. This is the essence of surrender, making room for God's grace to flow into your life. Resistance often stems from a place of scarcity, a fear that things won't work out, that you'll fall short, or that you're running out of time. But scarcity is a lie that distorts our perspective. God's resources are limitless, and His timing is perfect. When we surrender, we shift from striving to aligning. We stop trying to force blessings and instead position ourselves to receive them. Consider how much lighter life becomes when you stop carrying the weight of needing to figure everything out. Surrender allows you to move from stress to peace, from striving to trusting. It is an invitation to lean into God's promises, to trust that He is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Miracles often occur in the space where we let go. When we release our grip on how things must happen, we give God room to surprise us with His goodness. Surrender doesn't mean passivity. It means partnering with God, taking inspired action while leaving the outcomes in His hands. As you surrender, you'll find that life flows more freely. The very act of letting go becomes the doorway through which blessings, peace, and miracles enter. In surrender, you align yourself with God's grace, and in that alignment, all things are possible. Chosen ones, you are called to rise above the limitations of your external circumstances and live in the state of having. This is a powerful shift, a divine alignment that acknowledges a truth far greater than what the eyes can see. What you desire is already yours. Living in the state of having means embodying abundance, not as something you hope for in the future, but as a reality that already exists. This is not wishful thinking or empty affirmation. It is a divine truth rooted in your connection to God, who is the source of all abundance. When you embrace this truth, you stop defining yourself by lack or limitations. You no longer let your current circumstances dictate your sense of worth, joy, or possibility. Instead, you anchor yourself in the certainty of your divine inheritance. This internal shift transforms everything. Your thoughts become aligned with gratitude and confidence. Your emotions are rooted in peace and joy, and your actions begin to reflect the person you are becoming, not the person you've been. You act with faith, speak with assurance, and carry yourself with the energy of someone who knows that every desire placed in their heart is already being fulfilled. As you live in this state, blessings flow to you effortlessly. The energy of having is magnetic. It attracts opportunities, aligns you with divine timing, and opens doors you never thought possible. People, resources, and circumstances are drawn to you in ways that feel almost miraculous. This isn't coincidence. It's the natural outcome of aligning yourself with God's abundant flow. Understand this. Abundance is not something you chase. It is something you embody. When you step into the state of having, you affirm that you are already whole, already enough, and already worthy of the good things you desire. This truth doesn't just transform your reality, it transforms your spirit. You begin to see yourself as God sees you, blessed, chosen, and overflowing with potential. But stepping into this state requires trust. Trust in God's timing, trust in His provision, and trust in yourself as a co-creator with Him. It requires letting go of the fear, doubt, and impatience that keep you stuck in a state of wanting. Wanting keeps you focused on what you lack. Having focuses on what you are already receiving. The moment you make this shift, your reality begins to transform. Chosen ones, the time is now. You have waited long enough, doubted long enough, and played small long enough. Step into your divine power. Trust that the process is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. Know that every desire you hold in faith is already on its way to you. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to affirm it. Like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and comment below with the words, "I am already abundant," because you are. You are already whole, and the universe, God's divine creation, is ready to shower you with blessings beyond measure. Your shift from wanting to having has begun. Embrace it fully, and watch as your life transforms in ways that are greater than anything you could ask or imagine. Stop scrolling for just a moment. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to consider a powerful possibility. That you're here, right now, feeling the deep ache of separation from someone you thought would always be close. Your mom. Perhaps you've wrestled with the feeling that something precious has been torn from you, that a bond you once relied upon seems distant or unreachable. And yet, what if this distance, this undeniable gap, is not random? What if it is part of a divine design, carefully woven into the fabric of your life, not as a punishment, but as a path to something greater? The pain you carry, the isolation that weighs on your heart, it may not be as meaningless as it feels in your darkest moments. Every tear you've shed, every moment of loneliness, could be a refining fire, sent not to break you down but to shape you for a unique purpose that no one else can fulfill. God may have set you apart, chosen you for something so powerful that it requires a strength and resilience forged only through difficulty. This isn't the path everyone else walks, and maybe it isn't supposed to be. Have you ever considered that every hardship, every painful memory, has been like stepping stones leading you toward a destiny that only God can fully see? When we feel abandoned or misunderstood, it's natural to wonder if there's any purpose in it all. But what if these very struggles are the groundwork for a future that requires a unique type of strength, a strength few can understand, because few have walked this same path? Since childhood, you may have felt a unique distance, a chasm between you and your mother, something so deep, it often seemed unbridgeable. While others around you shared moments of warmth and comfort with their families, perhaps you found yourself standing on the outside, feeling the ache of loneliness and questioning why you felt so alone. It's a feeling that is difficult to explain and even harder to carry, making you wonder if you are somehow unworthy or undeserving of love and acceptance. But what if this distance, this feeling of separation, was never a sign of abandonment or rejection? What if it was, instead, an indication of something profound, a signal that God has chosen you for a special purpose that requires a path unlike any other? This isn't a punishment. It's preparation. God is not keeping you away from love. He's carving out space for a love far beyond human understanding. He's stripping away earthly distractions to prepare you to fully receive His purpose. Through the absence, He speaks with clarity, drawing you closer to Him. From a young age, you may have sensed that your path was different, marked by a unique calling that set you apart from others. While many around you found their strength and identity within the warmth of family bonds, you felt a deeper pull, a divine nudge guiding you to lean solely on God. This sense of separation may have felt isolating at times, but it was never a mark of weakness or inadequacy. Instead, it was God's way of building a strength in you that could only come through solitude and dependence on Him alone. Think of this isolation as a training ground, much like that of a warrior being prepared for a mission that requires focus, resilience, and unbreakable faith. In solitude, a warrior is stripped of comforts, left with only the essentials, so that strength and skill can be honed without distraction. In the same way, God has allowed this space of separation in your life removing certain attachments so that you can rely fully on Him. He is stripping away any dependencies that might hinder your calling, ensuring that your faith is anchored firmly in Him. Through this experience, God is teaching you resilience, a deep inner strength that does not waver under pressure. Each moment of solitude becomes a lesson, each challenge a stepping stone, building within you the character and endurance necessary for the higher purpose He has in store. This process may feel isolating, but it is a sacred preparation, a refining season where God is shaping you to stand strong, fully reliant on His guidance and grace. You are being prepared for something extraordinary, something that requires you to walk a path less traveled. God is calling you to trust Him deeply, to find your identity, your strength, and your purpose in Him alone. In this space of separation, He is forming you into someone who can withstand trials, rise above challenges, and fulfill a calling that goes beyond the ordinary. This path may be different, but it is designed with divine intention, preparing you to step into a life marked by purpose and guided by His unfailing hand. The love you've longed for, the family connection you may have envied in others. It's not that God ignored your need. He saw it and chose to fill it Himself with a love that is perfect, unchanging, and unfailing. He needed you free from the limitations of earthly attachment because your calling requires a different kind of strength. Others may find comfort in constant affirmation, but you've been sustained by something deeper, the unshakable power of God's love. Picture yourself on a battlefield, a soldier trained in isolation for a war you may not have fully understood. While others leaned on their mothers, you learned to fight alone. In the emptiness left by human absence, you discovered a divine fullness, a love that doesn't fade, a connection that doesn't break. Every tear, every sleepless night spent questioning your worth. These were all part of a grander plan to prepare you for a strength and resilience others cannot match. Your mother's distance, her absence, was not an accident. Each struggle, each wordless conflict, each cold silence, they were tools, divine chisels breaking away the unnecessary to reveal the masterpiece within. You were not just hurt, you were sharpened. Every argument, every cutting remark, every emotional sabotage was a lesson in standing firm. Through these challenges, God was cultivating within you a resilience that runs deep. He was teaching you not to be easily swayed, preparing you to hold steadfastly to your identity and purpose, even when faced with opposition. The adversity wasn't meant to crush you, but to build within you an unwavering strength and a profound sense of self that could only emerge through the fire. In every hurt, there was a refining, a way to transform the pain into power, the wounds into wisdom, and to reveal the strength God always saw in you. The pain you've felt wasn't meant to define you, but to refine you. Your struggles with your mother weren't just personal. They were cosmic clashes, battles between who you are called to be and who the world would have you remain. Perhaps you were wounded by criticism that seemed relentless, by manipulations that twisted your heart, by coldness that left you questioning your worth. These were not random hardships. They were intentional wounds meant to prepare you for a purpose far beyond the ordinary. Through these wounds, God has forged an armor around you. Others may falter under the weight of life's pressures, but you have already endured the furnace's heat, and it has only made you stronger. This is why your path has been different, harder. You were never meant to lean on human validation. God needed you to seek your worth in Him alone. Your identity isn't tied to earthly approval, but is rooted in the Creator who shaped you with divine purpose. The strained words, the unspoken coldness, they were chisels that shaped you, removing parts that would hinder your calling. Through the pain, God was strengthening you, making you resilient, unbreakable. You may have felt abandoned, but in reality, God was present, molding you into a vessel for His work. Every tear, every lonely moment served as a sacred tool, refining you into who you were meant to be. Perhaps you've wondered, why? Why did the relationship with your mother seem so fraught with pain, as if it was destined to leave a lasting ache? The answer, though complex in feeling, is both simple and profound. God never intended for your sense of self, your identity, to be shaped by her approval or acceptance. Her role in your life, with all its imperfections and limitations, was never meant to be the foundation of your worth or the lens through which you see yourself. Instead, her limitations were a divine sign, a reminder of the insufficiency of earthly relationships and of the way human bonds can fall short. Each moment of distance, each unmet need, was gently guiding you toward something far greater, toward Him. God used the limitations in your relationship with your mother to reveal a powerful truth. Human connections, as meaningful as they are, cannot be the ultimate source of our identity or worth. While others may have found their confidence or validation within family bonds, God had a different path in mind for you. He allowed this distance not as punishment, but as preparation, gently leading you to discover that your true value comes from Him alone. He wanted you to know that your identity is firmly rooted in His love, a love that is constant, complete, and unfailing. In those moments when you sought validation from her and were met with disappointment, God was drawing you closer, teaching you to find your security and purpose in Him. This separation is not a mark of failure or loss. It is a sacred invitation to be grounded in something more lasting than any human relationship. God has called you to a unique journey, one that begins with Him and finds its fulfillment in His purpose for your life. Perhaps you've wondered, why? Why did the relationship with your mother seem so fraught with pain, as if it was destined to leave a lasting ache? The answer, though complex in feeling, is both simple and profound. God never intended for your sense of self, your identity, to be shaped by her approval or acceptance. Her role in your life, with all its imperfections and limitations, was never meant to be the foundation of your worth or the lens through which you see yourself. Instead, her limitations were a divine sign, a reminder of the insufficiency of earthly relationships and of the way human bonds can fall short. Each moment of distance, each unmet need, was gently guiding you toward something far greater, toward Him. God used the limitations in your relationship with your mother to reveal a powerful truth. Human connections, as meaningful as they are, cannot be the ultimate source of our identity or worth. While others may have found their confidence or validation within family bonds, God had a different path in mind for you. He allowed this distance not as punishment, but as preparation, gently leading you to discover that your true value comes from Him alone. He wanted you to know that your identity is firmly rooted in His love, a love that is constant, complete, and unfailing. In those moments when you sought validation from her and were met with disappointment, God was drawing you closer, teaching you to find your security and purpose in Him. This separation is not a mark of failure or loss. It is a sacred invitation to be grounded in something more lasting than any human relationship. God has called you to a unique journey, one that begins with Him and finds its fulfillment in His purpose for your life. This separation, this divine pruning, is God's way of preparing you for the next level. It may feel like isolation, but it's the sacred ground where transformation happens. God has stripped away earthly ties that once defined you, removing anything that could limit the purpose He has in mind for you. Every moment of separation, every tear, is a tool in God's hands, shaping you into a vessel strong enough to carry His purpose. Think of yourself as metal, heated and hammered to become unbreakable. This process is not punishment, it's refinement, burning away vulnerabilities that could hinder your mission. The relationships that once defined you, that may have even limited you, are being removed. You are being promoted to a higher calling that demands more from you than you could ever have imagined. In the spaces left by human absence, God's presence becomes undeniable and profoundly comforting. Where earthly love may have faltered, God's love fills every empty corner, reaching into the depths of your heart in ways no human connection ever could. The voids left by relationships that may have fallen short were never meant to remain empty. They are intentional spaces designed for God to fill, to demonstrate that His love alone is all-encompassing and sufficient to meet your every need. God has not allowed this separation or distance to harm you, but has instead used it as an invitation to draw you nearer to Him. The limitations of your earthly mother, her inability to meet every emotional or spiritual need, are not reflections of any inadequacy in you. Rather, they are gentle reminders that your deepest needs were always meant to be fulfilled by your Heavenly Father. The love you seek, the security you crave, and the understanding that often feels elusive are all perfectly found in Him. This separation highlights a sacred truth, that God's role in your life is unique and irreplaceable. Where human relationships are bound by limitations and imperfections, God's love remains unwavering, endlessly patient, and without condition. Through this experience, He is showing you that your worth and identity are rooted in Him, not in the validation or understanding of others. In every space where human love could not reach, God's presence grows stronger, filling your life with a love that heals, sustains, and affirms your true value. He is drawing you closer, teaching you to depend on Him completely, and showing you that He alone can fulfill the desires of your heart in ways that are eternal, pure, and boundless. God wanted your dependence to be on Him alone, not diluted by human affections. Through every tear, every moment of silence, He was building in you a spiritual resilience, a strength that is anchored in an unshakable foundation. This separation isn't a punishment or a mark of failure. It's a divine calling to rely on God alone. You are chosen, set apart, refined through every moment of loneliness and heartache. This separation is proof of your calling. It's a divine preparation, a sacred crucible where God has been molding you into the vessel He needs. Your pain isn't in vain. It's a testimony, a witness to the work God is doing within you. Embrace this truth. Walk boldly in the knowledge that your story is part of a grand design. Let your journey, your growth, be a light for others who feel the weight of separation. In every hardship, trust that God's plan is perfect, that He is using every moment to shape you for a purpose beyond what you can see. Step forward with courage, knowing that you are not defined by the wounds of the past, but by the divine calling that marks your life.
In today's world, many individuals hold on to the belief that if they don't believe in witchcraft or other spiritual forces, those forces cannot affect them. It's a comforting thought, one that provides a sense of control and safety in an unpredictable world. However, what if this belief is far from the truth? What if spiritual forces, whether acknowledged or not, operate independently of human belief, influencing lives, relationships, and destinies? In spiritual matters, ignorance is not a defense. In fact, it can be a dangerous vulnerability. In the Bible, Hosea 4:6 warns, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." This powerful verse speaks directly to the heart of spiritual blindness. Just because someone chooses to reject or dismiss the existence of spiritual warfare doesn't mean they are immune to its effects. In fact, disbelief can give the forces of darkness an advantage, allowing them to operate unchecked and unnoticed. It is only through knowledge, vigilance, and spiritual discernment that we can protect ourselves from these unseen dangers. The spiritual world is not a faraway, mythical place. It is intertwined with our daily lives, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and actions, often without our awareness. One of the most common ways this influence manifests is through our dreams. Dreams, often dismissed as mere fragments of our subconscious, are in fact a powerful communication channel between the spiritual and physical realms. They can serve as warnings, guidance, or, unfortunately, a playground for witchcraft and spiritual oppression. In this video, we will explore 12 distinct types of dreams that may signify witchcraft activities in your life. By understanding these dreams, you can begin to take control of your spiritual health, defend yourself against unseen attacks, and reclaim your power through prayer, fasting, and faith. If this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content that will help you grow spiritually and stay empowered in your journey. Let's dive in. Throughout history, dreams have held a place of great significance in many cultures and spiritual traditions. Ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Babylonians, saw dreams as messages from the divine or from the spirit world. In the Bible, God frequently used dreams to communicate with his people, giving them guidance, warnings, and revelations. Joseph, for example, was able to rise to power in Egypt because of his ability to interpret Pharaoh's dreams, which were divinely inspired. Even today, though modern society often downplays or overlooks the importance of dreams, they remain a powerful tool for spiritual communication. While some dreams may indeed be the mind's way of processing daily experiences, others have deeper, more profound meanings. These spiritual dreams are windows into the unseen world, offering glimpses of what is happening behind the veil of our physical reality. Witchcraft, which operates in secrecy, often uses dreams as a medium to establish connections with the unaware. Through dreams, evil covenants can be made, spiritual attacks can be launched, and one's destiny can be altered without their knowledge. That is why it is crucial to learn how to recognize the signs of witchcraft in your dreams and take immediate action to counteract these forces. One of the most overlooked aspects of dreams is their potential to reveal hidden spiritual attacks. While we sleep, our defenses are down and our spirits are more vulnerable. The enemy often takes advantage of this, launching attacks or forging spiritual covenants that manifest in the physical realm through sickness, failure, poverty, and broken relationships. By paying close attention to your dreams, you can uncover these hidden schemes and protect yourself from further harm. Food is a powerful symbol in both the physical and spiritual realms. In many cultures, sharing a meal represents fellowship, unity, and covenant. However, when it comes to dreams, eating can have a far more sinister meaning. If you find yourself frequently eating in your dreams, especially if the food is unfamiliar or unpleasant, it could be a sign of witchcraft at work in your life. In the spiritual realm, food is often used as a tool for establishing covenants between the dreamer and the forces of darkness. These demonic meals are designed to defile the dreamer's spirit, creating a spiritual bond that allows the enemy to exert influence over their life. The types of food you consume in the dream are also significant. Eating raw meat, blood, or any unclean substances is particularly troubling, as it signifies a deep level of spiritual pollution. For example, in certain African spiritual traditions, it is believed that when one consumes food in a dream, they are participating in a ritual designed to enslave their spirit to a particular demonic power. This is why it is crucial to take action immediately after having such a dream. Upon waking, it is recommended to begin the day with fasting and prayer, asking God to cleanse your spirit and break any covenants that may have been formed during the dream. Dogs are often seen as loyal companions, but in dreams, they can take on a far more threatening role. If you dream of being bitten by a dog, it could signify a witchcraft attack aimed at causing betrayal, illness, or broken relationships. Dogs, especially in the context of dreams, can represent familiar spirits or agents of witchcraft sent by those close to you, such as friends or family members. It's important to note that not every dream of a dog bite is indicative of a witchcraft attack. However, if you consistently have dreams of being bitten or attacked by dogs, especially in settings that seem unusual or threatening, this could be a sign that someone close to you is involved in witchcraft or is unknowingly being used by spiritual forces to harm you. Jesus warned in Matthew 10:36 that a man's enemies will be the members of his own household. This doesn't necessarily mean that your family members are practicing witchcraft, but it could suggest that spiritual attacks are coming from sources that are familiar or trusted. After such dreams, it's essential to pray for protection against any hidden enemies and to ask God for discernment to uncover the source of the attack. One of the most common signs of witchcraft at work in someone's life is the recurring dream of seeing dead or deceased relatives. While many people might find comfort in seeing a beloved family member who has passed on, it is important to recognize that these dreams are not what they seem. According to spiritual teachings, the dead have no place among the living, and any interaction with them in a dream is a sign of something much darker at play. In many cases, dreams of deceased relatives indicate the presence of generational curses or covenants that have been made by ancestors. These curses can manifest in various ways, including poverty, illness, or cycles of failure. The spirits of the deceased in these dreams are not actually your loved ones, but familiar spirits, demonic entities that take on the appearance of people you know in order to deceive you and maintain the generational curse over your life. When you wake from a dream where you have encountered a deceased relative, it is essential to reject any interaction or agreement that may have taken place during the dream. Pray for God's protection over your life and break any generational curses that may be affecting you. The Bible warns us in Deuteronomy 18:10-12 against communicating with the dead or engaging in necromancy, as it opens doors for spiritual oppression. If you find yourself being beaten or physically assaulted in a dream, this is a clear sign of spiritual warfare. The people or forces attacking you in the dream may represent demonic entities or spiritual enemies seeking to weaken your spirit. Such dreams are often indicators that you are under a heavy spiritual attack, and if left unaddressed, they can manifest as physical, emotional, or financial struggles in your waking life. It's important to remember that the battle in the dream is not a mere fight for dominance. It's a symbolic representation of a spiritual battle for your soul, your destiny, or your relationships. Even if you don't recognize the individuals attacking you, the spiritual message remains the same. You are in a fight, and you need to engage in spiritual warfare through prayer, fasting, and seeking God's protection. Dreams where you find yourself tied up, locked in a prison, or confined to a cage indicate that you are experiencing spiritual bondage. In these dreams, you are unable to move freely, symbolizing restrictions placed on your life, whether they be financial, emotional, or even spiritual. These dreams often point to witchcraft activities that are hindering your progress and preventing you from achieving success. You may find that despite your best efforts, you cannot seem to break through in your career, relationships, or personal growth. This is because spiritually, you are in a prison, unable to move forward. If you experience such dreams, it's vital to pray against every spiritual limitation, asking God to break the chains that bind you and set you free from any forces holding you back. Engaging in sexual activity in a dream is one of the most potent signs of witchcraft. These dreams are not merely the product of human desire, they are spiritual encounters with demonic entities. These entities often take the form of a familiar person, someone you know or are attracted to, but in reality, they are spirits aiming to create evil covenants with you. Such sexual dreams are serious spiritual attacks. They represent the infiltration of your life by forces of darkness that seek to sow seeds of lust, perversion, and destruction. These dreams can lead to significant negative consequences, including difficulties in marriage, financial instability, and emotional turmoil. Upon waking from a sexual dream, it is crucial to reject the encounter through prayer. You must renounce any covenant that might have been formed and seek God's intervention to cleanse and protect your spirit. If you dream of burials, whether it's seeing your personal belongings being buried, attending a funeral, or even seeing yourself in a casket, this is a clear sign of witchcraft activity. These dreams symbolize spiritual death and the enemy's attempt to destroy your destiny. In the spiritual realm, burying someone or something represents putting an end to their progress or potential. It is the enemy's way of saying, "You are finished." However, it is important to remember that God has the power to resurrect and restore what the enemy has tried to bury. If you have such a dream, pray fervently to reclaim your destiny. Ask God to resurrect every part of your life that the enemy has attempted to destroy. Matthew 8:22 reminds us, "Let the dead bury their own dead." We, as followers of Christ, are called to live spiritually alive lives, and no power of darkness can end our God-given purpose. Rats and roaches are notorious pests, and in the spiritual world they represent destruction, poverty, and household wickedness. Dreaming of these creatures often signals that witchcraft forces are at work, seeking to destroy your wealth, health, and peace. If you dream of rats eating your food or roaches destroying your belongings, this could indicate that spiritual forces are attempting to bring poverty into your life. They may also signify hidden attacks aimed at sabotaging your career, relationships, or health. Upon waking from such a dream, take it as a call to spiritual action. Pray against every spirit of destruction and poverty that has been sent against you. God has promised in His Word to provide for all our needs, and through prayer you can reclaim your provision and protection. Hair, in many cultures and spiritual traditions, symbolizes glory, honor, and strength. In the Bible, we see this clearly in the story of Samson, whose strength was tied to his hair. Therefore, if you dream of someone cutting or shaving your hair, it indicates that the enemy is attacking your glory. These dreams may represent a loss of influence, authority, or spiritual power. You may find yourself losing opportunities, respect, or success in areas where you were once thriving. This is a clear sign that spiritual forces are working to diminish your glory. If you have such a dream, pray to restore your glory and authority. God has the power to restore what the enemy has stolen, and through faith and prayer, your strength and influence can be renewed. Blood is a powerful symbol in both the physical and spiritual worlds. In the Bible, blood represents life, and dreaming of blood, especially your own, can be a warning of impending danger or loss. If you see yourself losing blood in a dream, it could indicate that the enemy is planning an attack on your health, your life, or your spiritual vitality. For pregnant women, dreams involving blood can be a warning sign of complications with their pregnancy or a potential loss. However, instead of succumbing to fear, you should take such dreams to God in prayer. Ask for protection over your life, your family, and your health. Remember that the blood of Jesus is more powerful than any spiritual attack. Bees in the natural world are known for their organization and precision. Similarly, in the spiritual realm, dreams of being attacked by bees indicate that the enemy is launching a highly strategic attack against you. These attacks are not random, but are designed to target specific areas of your life, whether it be your health, finances, or relationships. If you dream of being chased or stung by bees, you must respond with strategic prayers. These dreams call for more than just general prayers. They require focused, intentional spiritual warfare to counteract the precision of the enemy's attack. Dreams of being chased are among the most common signs of witchcraft activity. In these dreams, you may be running from a person, an animal, or an unknown force. The fear and panic you experience in the dream are not only reflective of what is happening in the dream, but may also indicate that you are running from spiritual attacks in your waking life. Being chased in a dream suggests that the enemy is trying to instill fear, anxiety, or a sense of hopelessness in you. This type of dream is meant to keep you in a state of spiritual and emotional paralysis, unable to stand firm in faith. To combat these dreams, you must stand your ground spiritually. Pray for courage and faith to face any spiritual attack. Remember, fear is one of the enemy's most powerful tools, but God has given us the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. The journey of understanding your dreams and recognizing spiritual attacks is not a path of fear, but one of empowerment. Through knowledge, vigilance, and faith, you can reclaim your life from any spiritual oppression that may be affecting you. Witchcraft and spiritual forces may work in secrecy, but God has given us the tools, prayer, fasting, and His Word, to overcome every attack. This video has guided you through 12 dreams that can indicate witchcraft activities in your life. By paying attention to these signs and acting swiftly, you can protect your spiritual well-being, break generational curses, and live a life of freedom and purpose. Remember, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. When armed with the right knowledge and a strong connection to God, no force of darkness can prevail against you. Stay vigilant, stay prayerful, and continue seeking the light of God in every aspect of your life. As you remain steadfast in your spiritual journey, remember that God's guidance is always present, lighting your path and protecting you from unseen dangers. Through prayer and spiritual awareness, you can overcome any challenge and walk in the fullness of your divine purpose. Thank you for taking the time to explore these insights with us. If you found this message meaningful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content that supports your spiritual growth and empowerment. Your continued presence and support mean the world to us as we journey together toward a deeper understanding of faith and spiritual strength. Have you ever considered how much we communicate with our hands? From waving to a friend to the firm grip of a handshake, our hands speak volumes without words. But what if I told you that beyond these everyday gestures lies a vast well of psychic energy, waiting to be activated? Across cultures and traditions, hands have always been seen as more than just tools for physical work. They are conduits of a deeper, invisible power, the power to heal, to balance, and to transform. In this exploration, we will dive into the hidden psychic abilities of your hands, their connection to universal energies, and practical ways you can unlock their healing potential. By the end of this journey, you will not only understand the deeper nature of your hands, but also gain practical exercises to channel their energy for healing yourself and others. This is a journey of both discovery and empowerment, one that reveals the profound connections between mind, body, spirit, and the energy that flows through them all. All of nature follows a specific design, an ancient and sacred geometry that manifests in everything around us, from the spiraling galaxies in the cosmos to the unfolding petals of a rose. This design is known as the golden ratio, a mathematical proportion approximately equal to 1.618. The fascinating thing about this ratio is that it can be found not only in the shapes and structures of the natural world, but also within our very own anatomy. Look at your hand, for example. If you measure the segments of your fingers, you'll find that each section is about 1.618 times longer than the previous one. This isn't a coincidence. It's a reflection of a universal order, an intricate pattern that governs all life forms. The reason this ratio is so prevalent in nature is because it allows energy to flow smoothly and harmoniously across different dimensions. From the smallest atoms to the largest planets, this ratio creates a space for energy to circulate, to balance, and to sustain life. This natural pattern, known as the divine proportion, isn't just about aesthetics or mathematical beauty. It's a functional code for the flow of energy. In your hands, the very structure of your bones, joints, and muscles follows this sacred pattern, allowing your hands to be natural conduits of energy. Whether you are conscious of it or not, every time you move your hands, you're interacting with energy fields around you. This brings us to an essential question: how can we consciously harness this energy for healing and transformation? To understand the full psychic potential of our hands, we must explore the nature of energy fields. Though invisible to the naked eye, these fields have been studied by some of the greatest minds in history, including Albert Einstein and the French mathematician Élie Cartan. Together, they developed what is known as the Einstein-Cartan theory, which explores how torsion fields, subtle, twisting fields of energy, can influence and interact with matter. Torsion fields are believed to be present around any object with certain geometric properties, such as the golden ratio. In essence, these fields create a subtle electromagnetic interaction with the surrounding environment, including our bodies. This interaction may explain why we sometimes feel sensations or vibes from people or places, even if we cannot see anything physically present. It may also explain certain paranormal phenomena, such as ghost sightings or energy sensations, that science has yet to fully explain. When you move your hands, which are shaped according to the golden ratio, you generate a balancing effect in the surrounding torsion fields. Simply moving your hands near someone, or even over your own body without touching it, can help harmonize energy, creating a subtle yet profound healing effect. This isn't magic. It's a reflection of how our hands, through their very design, interact with the natural forces that permeate the universe. Many spiritual traditions recognize the hands as powerful centers of energy. In Hinduism, Ayurveda, and pranic healing, the hands are used to scan, cleanse, and direct energy to areas of imbalance in the body. Prana, or life force energy, is channeled through the hands to activate healing and restore balance. Similarly, in Chinese practices like Tai Chi and Qigong, precise hand movements are used to circulate and harmonize energy through the body's meridian system. This ancient knowledge reflects a profound truth. Our hands are intimately connected to our energy centers, or chakras. The palm of the hand in particular is a powerful area where our energy points are reflected. According to energy healing practices, the left hand is receptive, receiving energy from the environment, while the right hand is projective, giving energy out into the world. This dynamic flow of energy through the hands is central to many healing techniques, including Reiki, where practitioners channel healing energy into a person's energy field without even needing to touch the physical body. Consider for a moment the times you've instinctively placed your hand on a sore spot, whether it's a headache or a stomach ache. This natural response is more than just a reflex. It's an ancient, intuitive understanding of how to use your hands to direct healing energy. With focused intention and awareness, this simple act can become a profound tool for healing. Recent scientific studies have begun to shed light on how nonverbal communication, particularly through touch and gesture, can significantly affect our mental and physical well-being. Numerous studies show that nonverbal signals, including hand gestures, impact us far more than spoken words. This is because gestures are often more congruent with our emotions and intentions than verbal communication. When the two are in conflict, we naturally trust the non-verbal cues more. But beyond communication, there is mounting evidence that touch itself has healing properties. When you place your hand over an area of pain, the body responds by activating its natural healing mechanisms. Nerve endings in the skin detect this touch, sending signals to the brain that trigger the release of healing hormones such as oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone. This process demonstrates how intimately connected our minds and bodies are, and how touch can serve as a bridge between the two. In Ayurvedic practices, the hands are believed to contain numerous energy centers called mama points. These points regulate the flow of prana, the life force energy, throughout the body. By gently stimulating these points through touch, practitioners can restore balance to the body's energy system and promote healing on both a physical and emotional level. While the physical movements of our hands play an important role in energy healing, there is an even deeper layer to explore: intention. In spiritual and energy healing traditions, intention is everything. The energy we channel through our hands is deeply influenced by our thoughts, emotions, and awareness. To unlock the full psychic potential of your hands, you need to combine mental energy, emotional energy, and focused awareness. The first step is to set a clear and focused intention. Whether you are healing yourself or another person, your mind must be fully committed to the purpose. You might say to yourself, "I am going to heal with my hands." This mental affirmation serves as a blueprint for the energy you are about to channel. The second step is to engage your emotions. Healing is not just a mechanical process, it's an emotional one. As you prepare to channel energy, allow yourself to feel deeply the emotions of love, compassion, and healing. These emotions act as fuel for the energy you will direct through your hands. Finally, the third and most crucial element is awareness. You must be fully present in the moment, conscious of every movement, every sensation. As you move your hands, whether over yourself or another, feel the energy flowing through them. Be aware of the subtle shifts in the body and the environment around you. This heightened state of awareness amplifies the healing process, making your hands powerful instruments of transformation. Now that we've explored the theory behind the psychic power of hands, let's move on to practical exercises you can use to awaken this energy and put it into practice. Exercise 1. The energy circuit, uniting heart and mind. Begin by placing your hands together in front of your chest, at the height of your heart center. This position, often seen in religious practices such as prayer, is more than a gesture of humility or devotion. It creates an energy circuit, connecting the left and right sides of your brain, which govern logic and creativity. By bringing your hands together, you integrate these two aspects of yourself, generating a flow of mental energy through your hands. As you hold your hands together, focus on the present moment. Breathe deeply and feel the energy circulating between your palms. Stay in this position for at least 1 minute, fully aware of the sensations in your hands. This simple exercise helps to balance your internal energy and prepare your hands for healing work. Exercise 2. Rubbing the hands, activating the energy vortices. The next exercise involves rubbing your hands together to activate the energy vortices in your palms. This is a common technique used in energy healing practices to amplify the flow of energy. To begin, rub your hands together briskly for about 1 to 2 minutes, generating heat and friction. As you do this, imagine the energy in your body collecting in your hands, ready to be directed for healing. Once you've generated enough heat, stop and hold your hands a few inches apart. You should feel a subtle tingling sensation between your palms. This is the psychic energy building up. To test its power, try moving your hands closer together and then farther apart. Notice how the energy feels. It might be warm, magnetic, or even pulsating. This exercise is a powerful way to activate the psychic potential in your hands. Exercise 3. Ethereal massage, healing without touch. For this exercise, you will practice the art of healing without physical contact. This technique is similar to a massage, but is performed by moving your hands a few inches above the area that needs healing. Begin by rubbing your hands together to activate the energy vortices, as in the previous exercise. Then, place your hands over the area you wish to heal, whether it's your own body or someone else's. As you move your hands slowly in a clockwise direction, focus on the energy flowing from your hands into the area you are working on. Imagine this energy harmonizing and balancing the body's energy field. If you're healing a headache, for example, gently move your hands in circular motions above the person's head, visualizing the energy clearing away tension and restoring balance. Continue this for about 5 minutes. Then ask the person how they feel. Many people report feeling immediate relief from pain or tension after just a few minutes of this ethereal massage. Exercise 4. Psychometry, seeing with your hands. In this advanced exercise, you will practice psychometry, the ability to gain information about an object, place, or person through touch or proximity. This exercise trains you to see with your hands by sensing the subtle energy fields around an object. To begin, find an object you are unfamiliar with or ask someone to hide an object from you. Close your eyes or use a blindfold for better results. Hold your hands over the object without touching it. Stay fully focused on the present moment and be open to any impressions that come to you. These might include subtle sensations of texture, temperature, or even colors and shapes. Over time, you'll begin to develop a heightened sensitivity to the energy fields around objects, allowing you to sense information that is not immediately visible to the physical eye. Your hands hold an incredible potential, not just for physical tasks, but as powerful instruments for healing and transformation. By understanding the deeper geometry of life, the subtle energy fields that surround us, and the science behind touch, you can begin to awaken the psychic power of your hands. Whether you are healing yourself, helping a loved one, or simply exploring the vast possibilities of energy work, the key lies in combining intention, emotion, and awareness. As you practice these techniques, remember that healing is not just about fixing physical ailments. It's about balancing energy, restoring harmony, and reconnecting with your inner self. In this way, healing becomes a journey of self-discovery, a path that leads not only to physical health, but to spiritual awakening and deeper understanding of the universe. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the hidden power in your hands. I invite you to continue practicing, experimenting, and unlocking the full potential of your hands as tools of healing, creation, and transformation. If you enjoyed this journey and want to explore even deeper mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll stay connected and be the first to receive new insights and practices that will support you on your spiritual path. Let's continue this transformative journey together. What I'm about to share with you is not just another message. It is a profound truth that transcends the ordinary, a call for the few who are prepared to receive it. This is not for everyone. In fact, only those who feel the stirring of their soul will truly understand what follows. So if you feel nothing, that's perfectly fine. We are all on different parts of our journey, and not everyone is ready for the same revelations at the same time. But if something within you is restless, if you sense a quiet whisper calling your name from within your spirit, then perhaps this message is meant for you. Stay with me, because every word that follows was crafted with you in mind. There are moments when life places us at a crossroads where we either retreat into fear or step forward into our destiny. This is one of those moments. Have you ever wondered why your life seems to be filled with battles, challenges, and struggles that seem far beyond what others face? You look around and it appears as though others walk an easier path, free from the turmoil you constantly encounter. You felt alone, misunderstood, as if no one else could possibly comprehend the depth of what you're going through. Here's a truth that might be difficult to accept, but it will set your soul on fire once you grasp it. You have been chosen. You were never meant to blend into the crowd or walk an easy, unremarkable path. If you found yourself surrounded by more battles than most, it's because you've been marked for something greater. The struggles you face are not a punishment. They are the flames that will forge you into the person capable of fulfilling your divine purpose. God has chosen you for a mission far beyond the ordinary, and because of this, the trials you endure are greater, but so too is the strength you carry within. You are not like everyone else. The enemy knows this and fears what you are destined to become, which is why your obstacles often seem overwhelming. But those obstacles are the very proof of your calling. Being chosen isn't about an easy life filled with comforts. It's quite the opposite. When you are chosen, your battles are more intense and your path is less clear. Yet this path was never meant to be easy. It was meant to reveal your power. There is a strength inside you that you've only begun to understand. Think about it. How many times have you been on the verge of giving up? How many times have you looked at your circumstances and thought, why me? Why is this happening to me? You are not alone in feeling that weight. Many who are chosen feel the exact same burden. The reason the enemy comes after you so fiercely is because he knows what you carry. He fears what will happen when you awaken to your true identity and divine purpose. If you ever fully realize the power that God has placed inside you, nothing would be able to stop you. But here's the secret the enemy doesn't want you to know. God has already given you everything you need to win. You are not walking this path alone. God has prepared you for every battle, and He has equipped you with armor that is far more powerful than anything the enemy can throw at you. This armor is not just physical protection, it is spiritual, celestial, and tailor-made for you. It has been designed to cover you in every battle, to guard you against the fiercest attacks, and to ensure that you come out victorious. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing on a battlefield. The wind is howling, arrows are flying through the air, and enemies are closing in from all directions. But you are not afraid. Why? Because you are not standing there unprotected. You are clothed in a brilliant, impenetrable armor, a shield of light, a beacon of divine power that surrounds you. This armor shines so brightly that your enemies tremble at the sight of you. This is not a fantasy. This is the armor of God, and every piece of it has a specific role to play in your spiritual protection. Let's start with the belt of truth. Why does this matter? In a soldier's armor, the belt is essential. It holds the entire armor in place. Without it, everything falls apart. You can have the strongest armor, but if it's not held together properly, it becomes useless, and you become vulnerable. In the same way, truth is what holds your spiritual armor together. It is the foundation of your defense. Without truth, everything else, your faith, your righteousness, your peace, becomes shaky and vulnerable to attack. But this truth is not just any truth. It is not a relative truth that changes with circumstances or opinions. No, this is eternal truth, the unchanging truth that comes from God alone. The truth that you are a beloved child of God, chosen for a higher purpose. The truth that nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from His love. When you wear the belt of truth, you are declaring to the enemy and the world, I know who I am. I know the one who called me, and I stand firm in this truth. Without this truth, doubts will begin to creep in. You will question your worth, your purpose, and eventually your faith will waver. But with the belt of truth firmly in place, no lie of the enemy can bring you down. Now, let's talk about the breastplate of righteousness. The breastplate protects the most vulnerable part of your body, your heart. The heart is the center of your emotions, your beliefs, and your spiritual life. The enemy knows this, and his greatest desire is to wound your heart. If he can corrupt your heart, he can control your entire life. He does this by throwing arrows of fear, guilt, shame, and anxiety at you. Fear that you're not enough, guilt over your past mistakes, shame that whispers you'll never be worthy, and anxiety that keeps you trapped in a cycle of worry. These arrows are designed to hit your heart, to make you question everything about yourself, to paralyze you in fear. But here's the powerful truth. You are not wearing a breastplate made of your own righteousness. It's not about how good you are or how perfect you've been. You are wearing the righteousness of Christ. When God looks at you, He doesn't see your failures or mistakes. He sees the perfection of His Son covering you. This breastplate is impenetrable. No accusation of the enemy can pierce it. No matter how hard the enemy tries to remind you of your past, to make you feel unworthy, you can stand tall and declare, I am righteous, not because of what I've done, but because of what Christ has done for me. This truth sets you free. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are defined by the righteousness of God that covers your heart, protecting you from every attack. It may seem strange to focus on something as simple as shoes in a discussion about spiritual warfare, but the shoes of the gospel of peace are critical. Imagine a soldier without proper footwear, trying to march across a battlefield littered with sharp rocks, thorns, and uneven ground. Even with the best armor, he would stumble, fall, and be unable to move forward. In the same way, without the peace that comes from the gospel, you cannot move forward in life. The gospel of peace is not just a vague sense of calm. It is the deep, abiding peace that comes from knowing that God is in control. This peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It doesn't waver when storms arise. It's the peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that holds you steady in the midst of chaos. These shoes allow you to walk confidently, no matter how treacherous the path ahead may seem. When fear tries to paralyze you, when uncertainty clouds your vision, these shoes remind you that God has already paved the way. Every step you take is guided by His peace, and because of that, you can walk forward boldly, knowing that no ground is too dangerous for you to traverse. Of all the pieces of armor, the shield of faith is perhaps the most important. The enemy is relentless in launching his fiery arrows, arrows of doubt, fear, anxiety, despair, all designed to bring you down. But it is your faith that extinguishes these arrows before they can reach you. However, here's something you need to understand. The shield of faith is not automatic. It doesn't work by simply existing in your life. You have to lift it. Faith is not passive. It is active. It is a daily choice to believe in God's promises, even when your circumstances scream the opposite. Faith is choosing to trust in God's goodness, even when fear is pounding at your door. Faith is not just for the good times. It is for the moments when everything seems to be falling apart. That's when you need to lift your shield the highest. When doubts come, does God really care about me? You lift your shield and say, I trust in God's love. When fear tries to cripple you, you declare, God is my refuge, my strength, my fortress. When anxiety tries to overwhelm you, you remind yourself, God is in control and He has a plan for my life. The helmet of salvation guards your mind. The enemy's goal is to infiltrate your thoughts, planting seeds of doubt, confusion, and despair. He knows that if he can control your mind, he can control your actions. But the helmet of salvation protects you from these mental attacks. When you wear the helmet of salvation, you are reminding yourself of who you are, a child of God, saved by grace and redeemed by Christ's blood. Your identity is secure. Your salvation is unshakable. When the enemy tries to make you doubt your worth or your relationship with God, you can confidently declare, my mind belongs to Christ. I am saved, and nothing can change that. The sword of the Spirit is the only offensive weapon in your spiritual armor. It is the word of God, sharper than any two-edged sword. With it, you don't just defend yourself, you advance. When Jesus was tempted in the wilderness, He didn't just stand there and endure the enemy's attacks. He fought back with the word of God, declaring, it is written. You have that same power. When anxiety tries to consume you, when fear tries to control you, when doubt tries to take root, you don't have to stand there and take it. You can wield the sword of the Spirit, speaking God's word over your life. Declare, it is written. God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Declare, it is written. Greater is He who is in me than he who is in the world. The word of God is your weapon, and it is mighty to tear down every stronghold the enemy tries to build in your life. Finally, prayer is what activates your armor. Without prayer, the armor remains inactive. Prayer is not a last resort. It is your first line of defense. It is through prayer that you invite God into your battles. It is through prayer that you strengthen your faith, renew your mind, and wield the sword of the Spirit with power. Prayer is not just a defense mechanism. It is a weapon of attack. When you pray, the heavens move on your behalf. When you pray, God rises to fight for you. When you pray, spiritual forces of darkness are pushed back, and the enemy's plans are thwarted. Never underestimate the power of a life of prayer. It opens the gates of heaven and brings divine intervention into your life. You were chosen for something greater, and God has already provided everything you need to win. Don't give up. The victory is already yours. Every day, put on the armor of God, declare His promises over your life, lift the shield of faith, wield the sword of the Spirit, and watch as the impossible becomes possible. If this message has touched your heart, share it with others. Don't keep it to yourself. You might be the very channel God uses to transform someone's life. May you walk in the fullness of your calling. Remember, you are chosen, loved, and equipped for victory. Now let us pray together. Heavenly Father, we come before you with humble hearts, recognizing our need for your strength. Clothe us in your armor, Lord. Protect us, guide us, and help us stand firm in faith. Strengthen our hearts, renew our minds, and empower us to walk boldly in the purpose you have set before us. May your presence be with us always, and may we find rest in your unfailing love. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. If this message resonates with you, don't leave without taking action. Leave a comment, connect with this community, and take your place in God's movement. Together, we are stronger. Together, we are victorious.
Welcome, beloved soul. You've found your way here today, and I want you to know, it's no accident. Whether you've sensed it for years or are only now beginning to realize, there's a reason you feel different. There's a reason your soul has always longed for something beyond the surface, something higher, something the world couldn't quite offer you. Today we're going to talk about you, about the quiet transformation that has been unfolding inside of you, piece by piece, year by year. It's the kind of transformation that not everyone can see, but you feel it. It's the kind that defies outward appearances but radiates from your soul, creating ripples in the world around you. Have you ever looked back at your life and wondered why, even as a child, you felt older than your years? Why you carried an invisible weight that others didn't seem to notice? Why your eyes, so young, reflected the depth of experiences far beyond what you should have known? You were different and you knew it, but you couldn't understand it back then. Do you remember those early years, when the other kids seemed carefree, laughing and playing, while you watched with a quiet understanding that separated you from them? You weren't sure why. You may not have known the exact reason, but somewhere deep down, you always felt a weight of knowing, a weight of feeling, a weight of seeing the world in a way others couldn't. You saw the world with a wisdom that others couldn't comprehend, but back then, you didn't have the words to explain it. You just knew you were different. The adults around you may have seen it too. They might have commented on how mature you seemed, how serious, how thoughtful for your age. But that maturity didn't come without its struggles. You carried an invisible burden, a sensitivity, a deep-seated awareness that often made you feel older than your peers. You couldn't shake the feeling that while they were enjoying their childhoods, you were navigating something much heavier. And perhaps you struggled with this, feeling out of place, misunderstood by friends, and maybe even by your own family. But what if I told you that all those early struggles were never a mistake? What if I told you that every ounce of pain, confusion, and anxiety you carried back then was preparing you for something greater? Being chosen is never easy, and as a child you may not have realized what that meant. You may have simply felt the weight of it without knowing its significance. But now, looking back, can you see it? Can you see how even then, God was shaping you, molding you for a purpose far beyond what you could have imagined? You were set apart. You always were. And that's why you never fit into the mold the world tried to place you in. You tried, didn't you? You tried to be like everyone else. You tried to laugh as easily, to join in the games, to pretend you were just like them. But no matter how hard you tried, something inside you always felt different, and that difference wasn't easy to carry. For many of you, those early years were marked by inner battles that you didn't know how to explain. There were days when anxiety gripped you, when fear took hold, and you weren't sure why. You saw the world with eyes that seemed to know more, to feel more. and it was exhausting. Sometimes it felt like you were fighting a war inside yourself, struggling to find a place in a world that never seemed to understand you. But what if those battles weren't meant to destroy you? What if they were meant to refine you? Many of the chosen ones, the ones like you, have lived through chaos that seemed unbearable at times. Your identity shifted constantly, one day feeling bold and confident, the next day feeling invisible and small. You may have spent years trying to figure out who you were, where you belonged, and why you felt so different from those around you. You carried the weight of emotions that felt too big for your young body. The world around you was chaotic, and you struggled to find your footing. You may have felt like you were constantly shifting between wanting to be seen and wanting to disappear altogether. It was confusing, wasn't it? You didn't know who you were supposed to be. Your style, your personality, your very essence felt like it was always in flux. You may have looked in the mirror during those years and not recognized the person staring back at you. There was a disconnection between who you felt inside and the image you saw reflected in the glass. You tried to mold yourself into something that would be accepted by the world, but nothing ever felt quite right. The clothes you wore never seemed to fit, not because they were the wrong size, but because they didn't fit the person you were trying to become. And the world was loud, wasn't it? So loud. Everyone around you seemed to know exactly who they were, or at least they pretended to. And you felt lost. You couldn't find a place where you fit, and that made you feel even more isolated. Even your own family, the people who should have understood you the best, often felt like strangers. But beloved, that chaos wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to shape you. I know it felt lonely. You felt too much, too deeply. You saw the world through eyes that carried the weight of lifetimes of experience, and that kind of depth isn't easy to share with others. Most people couldn't grasp the intensity of what you were going through, and that made you feel even more disconnected. But let me tell you something important. The chosen ones are often misunderstood, and that's because they are called to walk a path that others cannot comprehend. You were carrying a depth, a wisdom, a spiritual weight that was far beyond your years, and it made you feel like an outsider. But you were never meant to fit into the world's mold. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were chosen, and because of that, your journey was always going to be different. That's why you felt older than your years when you were young. You were carrying something sacred, something divine, but the world couldn't see it. And sometimes, neither could you. And yet, despite the chaos, despite the confusion, something inside you was changing. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, God was working in you. He was quieting the storms, bringing peace to your heart. Maybe it didn't happen all at once. Maybe it took years, even decades. But over time, you began to notice a shift. The battles that once raged inside you started to quiet. The anxieties that once gripped your soul began to loosen their hold. The fear that kept you up at night began to fade. God was working through you, refining you through every struggle, through every tear, through every moment of doubt. He was using the chaos to shape you, to mold you into the person you were always meant to be. And now, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? You see someone transformed. Someone who carries the glow of inner strength, of purpose, of God's presence. The face that once showed the stress of trying to fit into a world that didn't understand you now glows with the peace of knowing who you are in God's eyes. Your appearance, your energy, your very spirit seems to have reversed in age. You are younger now, more radiant, more alive than you were when you were younger. And that's because you are walking closer to the person God created you to be. The world may have once told you that you were too much, too sensitive, too emotional, too deep. But now, you know that all of those things are what make you who you are. They are not flaws, they are gifts. And now that you have embraced those gifts, now that you have embraced who you are in God's eyes, something remarkable has happened. You have transformed. Your energy is magnetic, but not in the loud, attention-seeking way of the world. It's quiet. It's powerful. It's grounded in something deeper than flesh and bone. It's the light of God shining through you. You once felt misunderstood, like no one could see you for who you truly were. But now, you don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to see you. You know that not everyone is meant to walk your path. And that's okay. You have found peace in being set apart, in being chosen. You may still feel different. You may still feel like you don't quite fit into the world around you. But now, you wear that difference with pride, with honor. You know that God has placed something inside you that the world needs, even if it doesn't yet realize it. As you have transformed, the people around you have begun to notice. Some are drawn to your newfound peace, your glowing presence. They admire the strength and beauty that radiates from within you. They see the change in you, and it inspires them. But not everyone responds with kindness. Some are envious of your growth, threatened by the light that now shines from you. They may try to tear you down, to diminish the glow you have worked so hard to cultivate. But they can't touch it. The strength you carry is from God, and the glow of a good soul cannot be destroyed by envy or malice. It is a divine light that stands strong against any attempt to dim it. What they don't understand is that your transformation isn't just physical, it's spiritual. God's hand is on you, and no force can break what He has built within you. Now, as we sit here together, reflecting on the journey that has brought you to this moment, I want you to think back to your younger self. Think back to those old photos you used to shy away from, the ones that made you cringe or feel small. But now, something is different, isn't it? Now, when you look at those photos, you don't feel shame or regret. Instead, you feel love. You see the beauty that was always there, wrapped in innocence, cloaked in the struggle of finding yourself. You see strength in the eyes of the child you once were. How blind we were back then to the beauty that radiated from us, even in our confusion, even when we thought we were lost. Looking back now, with the wisdom you've gained, you don't see weakness. You see bravery. You see courage. You see a soul that was doing the best it could, even when the world seemed too heavy to carry. You were so young, so fragile, and yet, so strong. That younger version of you, though they may have been filled with doubts and fears, was also filled with hope. They longed for the peace you now hold. They prayed in their own way for the life you are now living. And God heard those prayers. He heard them, even when you thought He wasn't listening. Every tear, every cry for help, every moment of doubt, He was there, guiding you toward this very moment. And now, as you look forward, you carry the dreams of that younger self with you. You carry the lessons they taught you, the resilience they built within you. You carry the love they gave you, even when you didn't know how to love yourself. You carry the knowledge that God was with you through it all. He saw the beauty in you when you couldn't see it. He saw the strength you had even when you felt like you were falling apart. And He never let go. So now, as you stand in the glow of your transformation, know this: the journey is far from over. There will still be battles to face, struggles to overcome. But you are no longer fighting alone. You are walking in the grace of God, and He is leading you every step of the way. The glow you carry is not just the result of your efforts, it's the result of God's grace. He has shaped you, refined you, through every hardship, every challenge. And the light you now wear is a reflection of His love shining through you. It's a light that cannot be dimmed by the opinions of others or by the struggles you still face. It is eternal, unwavering, because it is rooted in Him. You walk forward now, not with the need for approval from others, but with the peace of knowing that you are already loved, deeply, unconditionally, by the One who created you. And that love is enough. It always was. As we move forward, we do so with love for the past, the present, and the future. We walk with God, knowing that every step we take is part of His divine plan. And we are proud of who we were, proud of who we are, and proud of the journey that lies ahead. You walk forward with peace in your heart, knowing that every step you take is part of a divine plan, far greater than anything you could have imagined. You are becoming exactly who God created you to be, and there is no greater fulfillment than that. So to those of you who are still in the midst of your transformation, still fighting the inner battles, take heart. You are stronger than you know, more beautiful than you realize, and God is with you, just as He has always been. One day, you will look back on this moment and see the beauty, the strength, and the courage that was always within you. And when that day comes, you will be proud, not just of who you have become, but of the journey that brought you here. Remember, dear ones, you are chosen. You have always been chosen, and that is something no one can ever take away from you. Have you ever found yourself feeling trapped in a cycle of financial hardship, wondering why, despite your intelligence, skills, and hard work, you can't seem to break free? It's a frustrating reality for many people, but for those on a spiritual journey, those who are often referred to as chosen ones, this struggle takes on a deeper meaning. If you're watching this, chances are you've already felt it, a sense that your life doesn't follow the conventional rules of success and prosperity. Perhaps you've noticed that no matter how much effort you put into a job or how many hours you work, the financial reward just doesn't seem to match your energy. Or maybe, deep down, you know that you could pursue a more lucrative career, but something stops you, a quiet voice inside that tells you that material wealth isn't your true path. The reason, dear one, is that you are a chosen one. You carry a unique light, a spiritual purpose that is so powerful, it often puts you at odds with the conventional ways of the world. Your very energy disrupts the status quo, and that includes how you interact with money and financial systems. In this video, we will explore 7 reasons why chosen ones often find themselves struggling financially, and more importantly, how these struggles can be transformed into powerful tools for spiritual growth and abundance. By the end, you will see that your financial challenges are not a punishment or a sign of failure, but rather a divine process of purification, preparation, and alignment with a higher form of prosperity. Before we begin, if you resonate with this message and are seeking more guidance on your journey, consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to provide insight and support as you walk this extraordinary path. Together, we uncover the hidden wisdom that guides us all towards spiritual and material abundance. One of the most common reasons chosen ones struggle financially is because they consciously or subconsciously reject materialism. Society tells us that money is the ultimate measure of success, but for someone on a spiritual path, this idea often feels empty and shallow. You prioritize authenticity, spiritual growth, and purpose over the pursuit of financial gain. The very thought of accumulating wealth for the sake of wealth doesn't resonate with your soul. Many chosen ones find themselves in careers that align with their values, healing, teaching, creating, but these paths often don't lead to immediate financial success. You may choose jobs or business ventures that nourish your spirit, but not necessarily your bank account. This isn't because you lack skills or ambition. Rather, it's because you're guided by a deeper calling that doesn't always translate into material wealth in the conventional sense. When you prioritize peace, creativity, and fulfillment over money, it can feel like you're falling behind in the world's eyes. But this is not a setback. In truth, it's a sign that you're living in alignment with your soul's purpose. You understand that there are riches far greater than money: love, connection, wisdom, and peace. The challenge lies in staying true to these values, even when financial pressures mount. The first step in transforming this struggle is to recognize that your rejection of materialism is not a flaw, but a conscious choice. You are walking a unique path that few understand, and though it may seem lonely at times, it is leading you to a wealth far beyond the material. When you shift your focus from what you lack financially to the spiritual abundance you possess, you will begin to see that you are already rich in ways that matter most. Another reason chosen ones often struggle financially is due to an energetic misalignment with traditional wealth-building methods. The typical paths to financial success, whether it's climbing the corporate ladder, investing in businesses, or pursuing high-income careers, are often built on values and motivations that don't resonate with your higher self. You operate on a different vibrational frequency. Your energy is more attuned to healing, teaching, or creating positive change in the world, activities that don't always lead to immediate financial gain. You are driven by a deep desire to serve, to uplift others, and to bring light into the world. But this focus on service can create an imbalance where your spiritual energy is aligned with something higher, while your financial reality remains tied to outdated systems of wealth creation that prioritize profit over purpose. This misalignment often leaves chosen ones feeling financially depleted but spiritually enriched. You may find yourself passionately working on projects that fill your heart but empty your wallet. Others might look at your life and wonder why you don't pursue more lucrative opportunities. But for you, the idea of doing something solely for money feels soul-crushing. This can be frustrating, especially when you see others succeeding financially while you struggle to make ends meet. But remember, you are working on a different plane, one that prioritizes spiritual rewards over material ones. To realign yourself with financial abundance, it's important to understand that money is also energy. Just as you channel energy into healing or creating, you can learn to channel energy into manifesting financial resources that support your higher purpose. Start by examining your beliefs about money. Do you view it as inherently corrupt or unspiritual? Do you feel guilty for wanting financial stability? These beliefs create energetic blocks that prevent money from flowing into your life. When you heal your relationship with money and begin to see it as a tool for supporting your soul's mission, you will open yourself to new opportunities for financial abundance. Chosen ones are often called to live a life centered around purpose, not profit. Your divine calling may involve healing others, spreading light, or helping people awaken to their true selves. These are missions that do not always come with a steady paycheck. In fact, many of the most spiritually aligned paths require financial sacrifices. You may find that your true work, your calling, requires you to walk away from financially lucrative paths in order to stay true to your purpose. This can be a difficult decision, especially when financial security is at stake. But your soul knows that true wealth is not found in a paycheck. It's found in the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with your divine calling. Over time, this focus on purpose over profit teaches you resilience and resourcefulness. You learn to find value in places others overlook. You develop a mindset that is less attached to material wealth and more attuned to spiritual abundance. And as you deepen your connection with your purpose, you will begin to attract opportunities that are aligned with both your spiritual and financial needs. It's important to remember that living your purpose does not mean you have to sacrifice financial stability forever. The universe is abundant, and when you trust in your divine calling, you will eventually be guided to the right opportunities, ones that provide both spiritual fulfillment and financial reward. But this often requires patience, faith, and a willingness to walk the less traveled path. Many chosen ones carry deep-seated financial blocks that stem from past experiences or ancestral patterns. These blocks often manifest as limiting beliefs about money, such as the belief that wealth is evil, or that you must struggle in order to be spiritual. These beliefs are not yours. They are inherited from your family, your culture, or past lifetimes. As you undergo spiritual transformation, these blocks rise to the surface, demanding to be healed. This can be a painful process, as it often involves facing deep-seated fears around money and security. But it is essential to clear these blocks if you want to align with the abundance that is truly available to you. You may also be carrying the financial struggles of your ancestors within your energetic field. As a chosen one, Part of your mission is to break these generational cycles of scarcity and lack. This is no easy task, but it is a crucial part of your spiritual journey. You are here not only to heal yourself, but to heal the financial wounds of your lineage. To begin clearing these blocks, it's important to acknowledge their presence and understand where they come from. Spend time reflecting on your beliefs about money and ask yourself whether they truly serve your highest good. Consider using meditation, energy healing, or journaling to release these old patterns and replace them with new, empowering beliefs about financial abundance. Financial instability often serves as a test of faith and trust for chosen ones. The universe is asking you to trust in a higher plan, even when the financial path ahead seems unclear. This period of struggle is not a punishment. It is a way for the universe to strengthen your connection to the divine and teach you to rely on spiritual abundance rather than material wealth. During times of financial hardship, it's easy to fall into fear and doubt. You may question whether the universe has abandoned you or whether you're on the right path. But remember, this is a test of your resilience, your faith, and your ability to trust in the unseen forces that are always working in your favor. When you can surrender your fears and trust that the universe will provide for your needs, you open yourself up to a flow of prosperity that is not limited by earthly standards. This doesn't mean that money will magically appear overnight, but it does mean that opportunities will arise when you least expect them and in ways you may not have anticipated. To strengthen your faith during times of financial struggle, practice gratitude for what you do have. Shift your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in your life. Trust that the universe is guiding you, even when the path ahead is unclear. And remember that your financial struggles are temporary. They are part of a larger divine plan that is preparing you for something greater. Your financial struggles are not random. They are intentional. The universe is using this time to prepare you for a greater purpose. Without the distractions of financial comfort, you are given the space to focus fully on your spiritual growth and align with your true essence. Think of this period as the cocoon stage before the butterfly emerges. You are being stripped of old beliefs, habits, and attachments that no longer serve your highest good. This process can be painful, but it is necessary for your transformation. As you go through this period of purification, you are honing your skills, deepening your spiritual connection, and preparing to take on a role that will have a significant impact on the world. Your financial struggles are not a punishment. They are a preparation for the destiny that awaits you. The key to navigating this stage is to trust the process and surrender to the divine timing of your life. Know that everything you are experiencing is serving a higher purpose, even if you cannot yet see it. Trust that when the time is right, you will emerge from this cocoon stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true purpose. Finally, chosen ones often struggle financially because their understanding of life and wealth is fundamentally different from the conventional world. You see beyond the superficial appearances of money and success, understanding that true abundance comes from living in harmony with your soul's purpose. For you, wealth is not measured in dollars and cents, but in love, wisdom, kindness, and spiritual growth. You are not here to fit into a system that does not honor your spirit. You are here to create a new paradigm, one where wealth is measured not by material possessions, but by the richness of your soul. This perspective can make it difficult to thrive in traditional financial systems, but it also frees you from the limitations of those systems. You are not bound by the same rules as others because you are working on a higher plane. Your financial struggles are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are living in alignment with your true values. As you continue on your spiritual journey, you will begin to attract the type of abundance that resonates with your soul. This may not look like conventional wealth, but it will provide you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. And in the end, that is the only kind of wealth that truly matters. Dear one, your financial struggles are not a curse. They are a divine preparation for something greater. Being broke does not mean being powerless. In fact, it is during these times of financial hardship that you are being shaped, strengthened, and aligned with your true purpose. Remember, The universe is abundant, and you are a part of that abundance. Your journey is not about fitting into the conventional norms of society, but about creating a new paradigm, one where wealth is measured in love, wisdom, and spiritual growth. As you navigate your financial struggles, trust in the divine timing of your life. Know that you are being prepared for something greater, and that when the time is right, the universe will reward you with a form of prosperity that aligns perfectly with who you are. In the meantime, embrace the lessons that come with financial hardship. They are teaching you resilience, faith, and trust in the unseen forces that are always working in your favor. And remember, you are already wealthy in ways that money cannot measure. If you resonate with this message, share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue to build a community of chosen souls who understand that true wealth comes from within. Thank you for staying until the end, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more insights on spirituality and evolution. Until next time, remember, you are a masterpiece in progress, complete yet always evolving. Peace and light to you on your journey. Chosen ones, what you are about to hear is not just a word. It is a divine message from the Almighty God. It is a message of urgency, power, and truth, for God does not lie. The scriptures tell us that he is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. If he has spoken it, will he not do it? If he has promised, will he not make it good? Hear me well, for what you are about to hear today will surely come to pass. This is not an ordinary word, and this is not an ordinary time. There is no turning back after this moment. There is no maybe, no later. The weight of this generation, the future of your people, and the destiny of this nation rest upon your shoulders. Prepare yourself, for you have been called to a divine appointment with destiny. The heavens are open, and the Spirit of God is ready to pour out a fresh anointing, new grace, and unprecedented power upon your life. I stand before you, not as an ordinary speaker, but as a carrier of divine revelation, a fire starter sent to ignite the flame that God has placed deep within your spirit. This is your moment, chosen ones, and it demands your full attention. There are moments in life that demand decision and action, moments that cannot be ignored or postponed. This is one of those moments. Chosen ones, you have been called to step into the fullness of God's purpose for your life. This is not the time for hesitation or doubt. You have been chosen, set apart, and anointed for such a time as this. You are not here by accident. You are here because God has placed a divine calling on your life, and the time has come for you to rise into that calling. The month ahead is not just another set of days on a calendar. It is not just a passage of time. No. This new month marks the beginning of a new season of breakthrough, opportunity, and favor. The Spirit of God is doing a new thing, and it is already springing forth. Do you not perceive it? Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere? The Bible declares in Isaiah 43:19, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" This new month is not just a continuation of what has been, but a completely new chapter, a new beginning. You must understand that the grace God is extending to you in this new season is not simply meant to help you survive the challenges. You are called to thrive. This is a season of flourishing, of divine empowerment that goes far beyond mere endurance. Lamentations 3:22-23 reminds us, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Each day brings fresh mercy, new opportunities, and a renewed outpouring of God's favor over your life." This season is filled with unimaginable breakthroughs, divine possibilities, and favor beyond what you've experienced before. But here's the key. You must perceive it. It's not enough to hear about God's grace. You must recognize it and actively align yourself with what God is doing. His grace in this season is not passive or quiet. It is fiery and transformative. It burns away fear, doubt, and every chain of mediocrity that has kept you from stepping into your full potential. Now is the time to rise, chosen ones. Embrace this fiery grace and let it propel you into your divine destiny. Chosen ones, are you ready to step into the fire and emerge as pure gold? The question is not whether you will face the fire. The question is whether you are prepared to be refined by it. For the fire of God is not meant to destroy you, but to purify and prepare you for the greater things He has in store. God is calling you to a higher level of authority, power, and purpose. But to walk in that, you must be willing to let go of the things that have held you back. Hebrews 12:29 declares that our God is a consuming fire. His fire is not meant to harm you, but to refine you, to burn away the impurities, the doubts, the fears, and the limitations that have kept you from walking in your full destiny. This is a month where you will be tested, but you will also be transformed. You are being purified for a higher purpose, and when you come out of the fire, you will not be the same. You will be stronger, purer, and more prepared to walk in the authority that God has given you. This is your moment to rise, chosen ones. The burdens and struggles of your past season are being lifted off your shoulders. God is releasing you from the weight that has held you down, and in its place, He is giving you new strength. Strength that will carry you through the challenges ahead. But listen closely. This is not a strength for the faint-hearted. It is not for those who seek comfort in the familiar or who shy away from the refining fire. This strength is for the bold, for those who are ready to step into the transformative fire of God and be changed by it. You are being called to more than just survival. You are being called to transformation. God is preparing you to walk fully in your divine purpose and calling, to embrace the destiny He has planned for you. The fire is not here to destroy you. It is here to refine you, to burn away anything that no longer serves God's plan for your life. If you are ready to embrace the fire, God is ready to take you into new realms of power, purpose, and fulfillment. Now is your time. Step into the fullness of your calling. The grace that God is pouring out in this new season is not a grace to simply sustain you through difficult times. It is a grace to propel you forward into realms of favor and opportunity that you have never accessed before. Think of this grace like an open door. God has already swung it wide open for you, but you must walk through it. This is not the month to tiptoe through the door. This is the month to run through it. Ephesians 3:20 declares, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." God's grace is a force, a divine empowerment that will carry you into places where others fear to tread. You are not stepping into this month timidly or cautiously. No, you are stepping into it with boldness, with fire in your heart, and with the assurance that God's favor is already resting on your shoulders. But here's the secret. You must recognize this grace that God is pouring out over your life. It's not enough to passively wait for change or hope for transformation. You must be aware of the new thing God is doing and intentionally align yourself with His plan. This grace isn't something that happens by chance. It is a divine invitation that requires your active participation. God has already opened the door, but you have to choose to step through it. This is the month where every obstacle, every burden, and every weight from the past season will be burned away by God's refining grace. The things that once held you back will no longer have power over you, but it's your responsibility to let go and move forward. Now is the time to leave behind the limitations, the doubts, and the fears that have hindered you. God has prepared a future filled with favor, opportunities, and breakthroughs, but you must step boldly into it. Don't carry the old season into the new one. Rise up, embrace the grace, and walk confidently into the divine destiny that God has set before you. Chosen ones, this is not just a month of breakthrough. It is a month of authority. God is calling you to walk in a new level of spiritual authority. For too long, many of you have been living beneath your God-given authority. You have allowed the enemy to convince you that you are powerless, that you are limited, that you are bound by your circumstances, but no more. This is the month where you will rise up and take your rightful place as a child of God, as a warrior in his kingdom. In Luke 10:19, Jesus said, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." This is not just a metaphor. This is your reality. You have been given divine authority to overcome every obstacle, every attack, and every scheme of the enemy. But authority is only as powerful as the one who wields it. You must stand up and declare, "I am chosen, and I will walk in the authority that God has given me." The enemy has been working tirelessly to keep you down because he understands the immense power and authority you carry. He knows that when you fully step into the authority God has given you, you become unstoppable. The attacks, the doubts, and the distractions you've faced are all attempts to hinder you from realizing your true potential. But hear me clearly. This is your month to rise up. This is your moment to take your rightful place in the kingdom, to walk in the fullness of the authority that God has already bestowed upon you. Do not shrink back in fear. Do not allow doubt to creep into your heart. God has been preparing you for this season. Every trial, every test, and every challenge has been part of the refining process. Now, you are ready. You are equipped with everything you need to walk in victory, to claim the promises, and to fulfill the divine purpose He has set before you. This is your time to embrace your identity as a warrior of God, to walk confidently in the authority you've been given. The enemy fears this moment because he knows the power that comes when you step into who you truly are. Rise up and walk in the authority of God. Your time is now. Many of you have been walking through seasons of trial, and you have been asking God, "Why am I going through this? Why am I facing these battles?" But let me tell you something. The trial was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to train you. The fire you have been walking through was not intended to consume you, but to refine you. James 1:2-4 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." The trials you have faced were part of God's master plan. They were the training ground for the authority you are about to walk in. Authority is not something that is given lightly. It is earned through the process of refinement, through the crucible of trial. But now, chosen ones, you are standing on the other side of that fire. And God is saying, it is time. It is time for you to walk in the authority that I have been preparing you for. You have been refined. You have been tested. And now you are ready to walk in the fullness of your calling. This month is not just about breakthrough. It is about walking in a new level of authority. You will declare things, and they will come to pass. You will speak to mountains, and they will move. You will walk into situations, and the atmosphere will shift because of the authority that you carry. Chosen ones, this new month is not just about natural opportunities. It is about supernatural opportunities. God is not confined by time or space. He can move mountains, open doors, and create opportunities where there seem to be none. But here's the key. You must expect it. You must believe that God is working behind the scenes to bring about a breakthrough that will blow your mind. Some of you have been praying for a breakthrough for so long that you've begun to settle for less. You've started to think, maybe this is all there is. Maybe God's plan for me is smaller than I thought. But let me tell you something. The devil is a liar. God's plan for you is greater than anything you could ever imagine, and this is the month where you will see it come to pass. Ephesians 3:20 says that God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. This is not just a promise. It is a declaration of what is possible when you walk in faith. But here's the key. You must not settle for less than what God has promised you. The enemy wants you to be content with small victories, to settle for mediocrity, but God has called you to greatness. This is the month where you will step into the impossible, where you will see miracles, signs, and wonders in your life. But you must believe it. You must expect the impossible. You must expect the miraculous. As we step into this new month, some of you may be feeling weary from the battles of the last season. You may feel like you are crawling, just trying to survive. But God is about to renew your strength like never before. Isaiah 40:31 declares, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." This is not just a promise, it is your inheritance. God is about to breathe new life into your spirit. He is about to give you supernatural strength for the journey ahead. The journey ahead may not be easy. There will be challenges, trials, and moments where you feel like giving up. But God is saying to you today, "I will be your strength." You don't have to rely on your own abilities, your own power, or your own resources. God Himself will carry you through this season. But here's the key. You must renew your faith. You must come to God every day and ask Him for fresh strength, fresh faith, and fresh power to walk in victory. This is not the time to grow weary. This is the time to soar. You are not called to crawl through life. You are called to fly. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives inside of you, and He is empowering you to walk through this new month with strength, power, and renewed faith. Chosen ones, God has called you to greatness, and this is the month where you will step into it. But you must not settle for less than what God has promised you. The enemy wants you to settle for mediocrity, to be content with small victories, but God has greater things in store for you. This is the month where you will witness God do the impossible in your life, but it requires more than just hoping. It demands that you believe it with all your heart. You must not only anticipate the impossible, but actively expect it to unfold. This is a season where your faith must align with the greatness to which God has called you. He is not offering small, ordinary opportunities. The doors He is opening for you in this new month are not merely natural. They are supernatural. These are opportunities that defy human logic and exceed any limits you may have placed on yourself. God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events, people, and circumstances in ways that you cannot yet see. He is preparing a breakthrough that will go beyond your wildest dreams, but your faith must be in alignment with His plan. This is not the time to doubt or second guess. Trust that God is moving in ways you couldn't imagine, and let your faith rise to meet the size of His promises. The breakthroughs, the miracles, and the favor are already in motion, ready for you to step into with unwavering belief and confidence, knowing that God's best is just ahead. As we conclude, let me remind you once more. This new month is not just another chapter in the story of your life. It is a divine appointment with destiny. The heavens are open, and God is pouring out new grace, new opportunities, new authority, and new strength. This is your time to rise up, to walk in the fullness of God's calling, and to experience the breakthrough that He has prepared for you. You are chosen, you are called, and this is your season to step into everything that God has for you. Walk into this new month with fire in your heart, faith in your spirit, and the authority of the Holy Spirit resting upon your shoulders. The world is waiting for you to take your place. Now go forth and conquer, for the Lord is with you. Let us pray together in faith, sealing this divine message over our lives. Heavenly Father, we come before you right now, standing in agreement for every chosen one who hears this message. We declare your mighty presence to fall upon them right now, wherever they are. Lord, you are the consuming fire, and we ask that you burn away every chain, every burden, and every hindrance that has been holding your people back. Let your fire descend like a hammer that breaks every rock of doubt, fear, and delay into pieces. Father, we speak to the dry bones in their lives, and we command them to come alive in the name of Jesus. We declare that this new month is their season of divine grace, divine favor, and supernatural breakthrough. Just as you promised in your word, Your mercies are new every morning, and we declare fresh mercy, fresh grace, and fresh power to pour out over every person listening to this prayer. Lord, let them walk in new levels of faith, authority, and power in this new month. No weapon formed against them shall prosper, and every door that has been closed to them will now swing open by the authority of Jesus Christ. We decree and declare that your divine plan for their lives is now unfolding in ways they never imagined. Father, we bind every scheme, every plot, and every attack of the enemy that has tried to delay or destroy the destiny of your chosen ones. We release your anointing that breaks every yoke. We speak new strength into their hearts, Lord. Renew their strength right now. Let them soar on wings like eagles. Let them run and not grow weary. Let them walk and not faint. Fill them with the supernatural strength of your Spirit. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we seal this prayer and we declare that it is done. Amen, amen, and amen. Chosen ones, as you prepare to step into the fullness of what God has prepared for you, I want to thank you for joining me on this divine journey. Your presence here is no accident. God is working in your life, and I'm grateful to be a part of this sacred moment with you. As you embrace this season of divine opportunity, I encourage you to move forward with boldness and faith, expecting God's miraculous breakthroughs. If this message has resonated with your spirit and you want to continue receiving words of encouragement and divine wisdom, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you'll stay connected with more messages that will inspire, uplift, and guide you on your spiritual path. Together, we can continue walking in God's purpose and plan for our lives. Thank you for being here, and may God's favor and blessings follow you always. Have you ever wondered if the struggles in your life are not entirely your own, but part of a cycle passed down through generations? Do you sometimes feel like you're carrying the weight of your family's past, repeating patterns that seem impossible to break? If you've felt this way, you're not alone. But here's the good news. Breaking free from these invisible chains is possible. In today's video, we'll explore 9 powerful signs that you've broken the generational curse and shifted your family's karma for good. These signs are subtle, but once you recognize them, you'll know you're on a path of profound transformation, not just for yourself, but for future generations. If you're ready to discover whether you've truly stepped into a new chapter of healing and freedom, then stay with me until the end of this video. Before we begin, if you resonate with this message and are seeking more guidance on your journey, consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to provide insight and support as you walk this extraordinary path. Together, we're not just healing our past, we're rewriting the future. Let's dive in. Before we dive into the signs that signal your liberation from generational curses, it is essential to understand what these curses actually are. Generational curses are not mystical or supernatural forces, but rather patterns of behavior, trauma, and beliefs passed down through families. These can manifest in many forms: cycles of addiction, abuse, neglect, emotional unavailability, financial struggles, or toxic relationships. They are invisible chains that link us to the unresolved pains, mistakes, and burdens of those who came before us. Why do these curses persist? In many cases, generational curses continue because they are not recognized as such. Families are often unaware of how deep-rooted these patterns are. Without awareness, the cycle repeats. Trauma begets trauma, and dysfunction begets dysfunction. But once you recognize that you are not bound by these patterns, a powerful shift occurs. The moment you decide to break free is the moment you take the first step toward creating a new legacy for yourself and those who will follow after you. This journey is not about condemnation or blame. It is about healing. It is about compassion for yourself and for the generations that came before you. They too were doing the best they could with the knowledge and resources they had. Your task now is to break the chain, to free yourself and future generations from this invisible inheritance. The first and perhaps most significant sign that you are breaking free from generational curses is the awakening of self-awareness. Without self-awareness, we live following the scripts written for us long before we were born. These scripts tell us who we should be, how we should act, and even how we should suffer. But once you begin to see the script for what it is, a narrative that can be rewritten, you have taken the first step toward liberation. Self-awareness is the foundation of breaking free because it allows you to identify the patterns that no longer serve you. It might start as a quiet recognition. I don't have to live like this. I don't have to continue these cycles of pain. This awareness might come in the midst of an argument, in a moment of deep reflection, or even through the insight of a therapist or spiritual guide. Reflect on your life. Are there patterns that keep repeating, no matter how hard you try to change things? Do you see echoes of your parents or grandparents in your own behavior? Acknowledging these patterns without judgment is the beginning of change. It is an invitation to explore not only how these patterns have affected you, but also how they can be transformed. One of the most powerful steps in breaking free from generational curses is learning to establish and maintain healthy boundaries. Many of us grew up in environments where boundaries were either non-existent or constantly violated. In such families, personal space, emotional autonomy, and the right to say no were often disregarded. When you set clear boundaries, you are making a profound declaration. I value myself. I respect my own needs, desires, and emotional health. This is not just a statement to the world, but also to yourself. Boundaries are not about keeping people out, but about protecting your well-being and creating space for healthier, more nurturing relationships. Learning to set boundaries can be difficult, especially if your family history includes codependency or enmeshment. In such cases, family members may have a hard time accepting your newfound autonomy. They may resist your boundaries, challenge them, or try to guilt you into maintaining the old, unhealthy dynamics. But remember, your responsibility is not to manage other people's reactions to your boundaries. Your responsibility is to honor and protect your own emotional health. Establishing boundaries begins with recognizing what you will and will not accept in your relationships. This requires a deep understanding of your own values, goals, and emotional needs. Once you have clarity, the next step is learning to say no when something doesn't align with those values or when it compromises your well-being. Clearly and consistently communicating your boundaries is crucial, as it helps others understand your limits and expectations. While there may be resistance, especially from those accustomed to the old dynamics, holding firm in your boundaries is essential for preserving your emotional health and fostering healthier, more respectful relationships. The maintenance of these boundaries is equally crucial. It requires vigilance, patience, and most importantly, a deep commitment to self-respect. You may falter at times, and that's okay. What matters is your willingness to stand back up and reinforce the boundaries you've set. In doing so, you break the cycle of unhealthy family patterns and create space for relationships that are based on mutual respect and care. Another significant sign that you are breaking free from generational curses is the conscious decision to disengage from family drama. Family dynamics can be complicated, and in families marked by generational trauma, drama often plays a central role. Whether it takes the form of constant conflict, manipulation, or the expectation that you play a specific role in the family, like the fixer, the caretaker, the scapegoat, drama keeps everyone trapped in a cycle of dysfunction. When you choose to step back from family drama, you are making a radical choice. I refuse to be defined by these toxic dynamics. This does not mean that you stop caring about your family. Rather, it means recognizing that you cannot control other people's actions, emotions, or decisions, and that you are not responsible for solving everyone's problems. Disengaging from drama requires courage, because it often means stepping outside of the roles you've been conditioned to play. You may be met with anger, confusion, or guilt from family members who expect you to continue fulfilling these roles. But by choosing not to engage, you are breaking the pattern of reactivity and chaos. You are choosing peace over conflict, healing over hurt. In time, your choice to disengage from drama creates an opportunity for healthier, more meaningful interactions. And perhaps most importantly, it serves as a powerful model for future generations, showing them that there is another way to live, one that is rooted in emotional freedom and peace. At the heart of breaking free from generational curses is the act of prioritizing your own self-care and mental health. Many of us come from families where self-care was seen as selfish, where emotional needs were neglected, or where survival was the only priority. But in order to truly break free, you must recognize that your well-being is not only important, it is essential. Self-care is not just about pampering yourself or indulging in momentary pleasures. It is about deeply caring for your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports your overall well-being, whether through regular exercise, nourishing food, restful sleep, or time spent in reflection and prayer. Mental health is a key component of self-care. Many of us carry the emotional scars of generational trauma, whether in the form of anxiety, depression, or unresolved anger. By prioritizing your mental health, you are breaking the cycle of self-neglect and creating a new narrative of self-love and healing. Breaking free from generational patterns often involves engaging in various healing practices. This may include seeking therapy or counseling to gain insight and support through professional guidance. Practicing mindfulness or meditation can help you cultivate inner peace and emotional balance, while learning healthy coping mechanisms provides tools to manage stress and adversity. Additionally, developing emotional literacy, understanding and expressing your feelings in a constructive way, plays a crucial role in healing, as it allows you to process emotions healthily and communicate effectively with others. Together, these practices empower you to nurture personal growth and transformation. By investing in your mental and emotional health, you are not only healing yourself, but also creating a foundation for a more resilient, fulfilling life. You are equipping yourself with the tools to break free from generational patterns and step into a future of greater peace, stability, and joy. A pivotal sign that you are breaking free from generational curses is the formation and maintenance of healthy relationships. In families marked by dysfunction, relationships are often characterized by toxicity, manipulation, or emotional neglect. But as you begin to heal, you will find yourself naturally gravitating toward relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and support. Healthy relationships require self-awareness and self-worth. You must first recognize your own value and refuse to settle for relationships that diminish or exploit you. As you break free from the conditioning of the past, you will begin to attract people who uplift, inspire, and support you in positive ways. Maintaining healthy relationships demands both effort and commitment. It involves setting and respecting boundaries to ensure that each person's needs are acknowledged and protected. Practicing active listening and empathy is key, as it fosters understanding and connection by allowing each person to feel heard and valued. Honest, open communication is equally important, creating a foundation of trust and transparency that strengthens the relationship. Together, these elements cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections built on mutual respect and care. In healthy relationships, you will feel safe to be vulnerable, to share your struggles, and to celebrate your triumphs. These connections become a source of strength, helping you navigate the challenges of breaking free from generational patterns. And remember, healthy relationships are not limited to romantic partnerships. They include friendships, professional relationships, and chosen family, those individuals who align with your values and support your growth. By surrounding yourself with people who nurture and encourage you, you create a powerful network of love and resilience that sustains you on your journey of healing and transformation. Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt and recover from adversity, stress, and trauma. It is the inner strength that allows you to bend without breaking, to face life's challenges with courage and grace. Developing emotional resilience is a critical part of breaking free from generational curses. In families affected by generational trauma, there is often a history of unresolved pain, suppressed emotions, and unhealthy coping mechanisms. Breaking free from these patterns requires a deep commitment to emotional healing and growth. It involves learning to process and express your emotions in healthy ways, developing a positive self-image, and cultivating a sense of inner peace. Emotional resilience is not something you achieve once and for all. It is an ongoing process that evolves over time. It requires continuous effort and self-reflection as you learn to reframe challenges as opportunities for personal growth. Resilience involves finding meaning and purpose even in difficult times, helping you navigate adversity with a sense of purpose. Additionally, it calls for practicing self-compassion, allowing yourself to make mistakes and let go of the pressure to be perfect. By embracing this process, you build inner strength and adaptability that supports you throughout life's ups and downs. As you develop emotional resilience, you will become less reactive to the ups and downs of life. You will be able to maintain a sense of perspective and balance, even in the midst of chaos. This inner strength becomes a powerful tool in breaking generational patterns, as you are able to respond to challenges with wisdom and grace rather than falling into old destructive habits. One of the most courageous signs that you are breaking free from generational curses is the willingness to seek and value professional help. Healing is a complex process, and there is no shame in reaching out for support. In fact, seeking help is a sign of strength, courage, and self-awareness. In many families affected by generational curses, there is often a stigma surrounding mental health and therapy. Seeking help may be seen as a sign of weakness or failure, but breaking free from these limiting beliefs is a crucial step in your journey of transformation. Professional help can take many forms, from individual therapy and counseling to support groups and workshops. These resources provide a safe, non-judgmental space to process your experiences, learn new coping skills, and gain insight into the patterns and beliefs that have shaped your life. Valuing professional help means making your healing a priority. It means investing time, energy, and resources into your growth and well-being. This is not a sign of failure. It is a profound act of self-love. By seeking and valuing help, you are equipping yourself with the tools you need to break free from the chains of the past and create lasting change. One of the most profound signs of your transformation is the ability to forgive and let go of the past. This does not mean forgetting or excusing the harm that has been done. Rather, it is about releasing the burden of resentment, anger, and pain that keeps you trapped in cycles of suffering. Forgiveness is a deeply personal journey that requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to face the wounds of the past. It is about recognizing that holding on to bitterness only perpetuates the cycle of hurt, and that true freedom comes from letting go. Letting go of the past involves acknowledging and processing your pain while also recognizing that your story does not end there. It is about shifting your focus from what has been to what can be, and embracing the power you have to create a new narrative. As you practice forgiveness and letting go, you create space for healing, growth, and new possibilities. You break free from the shadows of the past and step into the light of your own truth and potential. The most profound sign that you are breaking free from generational curses is your wholehearted embrace of personal growth and transformation. This involves recognizing that change starts within, and that by doing your own inner work, you create ripple effects of healing that extend far beyond yourself. Personal growth is a continuous, lifelong journey that involves constant self-improvement and reflection. It starts with cultivating self-awareness, allowing you to understand your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors on a deeper level. As you grow, you challenge limiting beliefs that may have held you back, opening yourself up to new possibilities. This journey also includes developing new skills and perspectives which broaden your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Additionally, personal growth requires being open to feedback and having the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Embracing change is a necessary part of evolving into your best self. As you embrace this path of transformation, you become a powerful catalyst for change in your family and community. Your own healing inspires others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and liberation. You become a living example of what is possible when we break free from generational patterns and create lives of meaning, purpose, and joy. Breaking free from generational curses is a profound journey of healing, growth, and transformation. Throughout this exploration, we've uncovered the many signs that indicate your liberation, from setting healthy boundaries and disengaging from family drama to prioritizing self-care, building resilience, and seeking support. As you continue to walk this path, remember that this journey is not about perfection but progress. Each step you take toward healing and self-discovery is a victory, a testament to your courage, resilience, and commitment to creating a new legacy of love, freedom, and joy. So as we come to the end of this video, I invite you to pause and consider your own journey. What signs of breaking free do you recognize in your life? What steps can you take today to continue your path of healing and transformation? Remember, you are not alone. There is a community of survivors and thrivers walking this path alongside you, offering support, encouragement, and love. Together, we are breaking free from the patterns of the past and creating a future where love, resilience, and hope are the legacies we pass on to future generations. If this video has resonated with you, I encourage you to share your thoughts, your story, or your own experiences in the comments below. Let us shine our light together, knowing that our healing is not just for ourselves, but for all those who come after us.